Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Perkins, center field. That'll get it done. Scored as a hit. In comes Haas, and the Brewers walk off the Marlins.
Mustaches today.
This into left field, continues the parade, and it gets away from Snyder. Just keep running, boys. Let it all out. Ball takes it away, throw back to first, and now we have trouble. Eco racing back, now the runner has zone. Here's the throw, it's high, and now Ian Hemp is in a pickle. Here's chaos. Ball hits Ian Hemp. There's a collision, and Hemp is ruled that he's going to score. It's interference, and it's 5-1 Cubs. Oh, baby. How about that?
Here they come off of turn 4. The Brickyard belongs to Bubba. Wallace wins it Indy, and he's going to the playoffs.
And the Guardians are not. Welcome to the Sam Bourquin Show. Holy Monday, 1310 WDPN. Catch us on the 1310 WDPN Facebook page, our X page, and, of course, the Q92 radio page on YouTube. Welcome to the Monday edition. Sam Bourquin here. Ryan Rainsberg on the other side of the glass. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Hope you enjoyed the Hall of Fame activities that sort of happened over the weekend. How about what's going on today? Well, you know what? Again, this is why I absolutely love what I do. Every day is a brand new day. You never know. I will tell you, I'll take you behind the curtain. Today, all set. It's going to tell you about our family's little mini weekend in Detroit. Got to watch the Tigers and Blue Jays. Got to see Dylan Dingler. He got a couple of base hits, although they lost. We had a great time Friday night at Comerica Park, our first visit there. Great fireworks show, great pizza shop on the corner. Fantastic time. And I'll still tell you about that, but it's going to have to wait. Okay? It's going to have to wait a little bit. Got a new hat. I'll wear the hat tomorrow, okay? Then we're going to talk about the Guardians, kind of just staying afloat. Didn't really help themselves over the weekend, hurt themselves a little bit. Probably should have got 2 out of 3 in Kansas City. Oh, wait a minute. Class A. Okay. So we were going to talk about that. Then, feel-good story of the weekend. Cooperstown, New York, home of the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. The voice of the Guardians, voice of the Indians, Tom Hamilton, gets inducted into the hall in Cooperstown. We're going to spend a lot of time on that. Play some of Hammy's speech. Go back and play some of the speeches from the other inductees, which we will. But now that's all going to have to kind of move back as far as the program is concerned. The Browns camp today. Flacco getting the first team reps. Shador getting the second team reps. By the way, Daddy Dion comes out on social media today, says, hey, praise God, praise the Lord. I've beat bladder cancer. I'm cancer-free. I'm good. Awesome. Great to hear it. Was going to hit on that a little bit. It's going to talk about the Major League Baseball trade deadline, which we will, but that's going to have a little different shift on it after what just went down about an hour ago. We'll still have on this day in sports history. We've got our Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. But what in the hell is wrong with these Cleveland Guardians pitchers? First it was Luis Ortiz, and now it's Emmanuel Clase. And as far as it looks, and I will read I will read the statement verbatim that came out from the Cleveland Guardians when this story broke. Now, it broke in a couple of other places. Some sports writers around the country got wind of it first and put it out there. And then the Guardians sent out their team statement, as they do. And here it is verbatim. The Cleveland Guardians have been notified by Major League Baseball as part of their sports betting investigation. Emmanuel Clase has been placed on the non-disciplinary paid leave per an agreement with the Players Association. We have been informed that no additional players or club personnel are expected to be impacted. The Guardians are not permitted to comment further at this time. We will respect the league's confidential investigative process as we continue to fully cooperate. That from the Guardians this afternoon, and that came out just under 2 hours ago, about an hour and 46 minutes ago. If you want to see the statement, I've got it posted all over our social media platforms. Check that out. AM 1310 WDPN on X, on Instagram, Q92 Sports on X, my Facebook page, my Twitter page. Go check it out. It's there if you want to read it. Oh, by the way, roster move today. Guardians have recalled left-handed pitcher Tim Herron from Class AAA Columbus, and Emmanuel Clase has been placed on the MLB administrative leave list. So here we go. Luis Ortiz on paid leave until the end of August. Emmanuel Clase on paid leave for an agreement with the Players Association, the non-disciplinary paid leave. Now, again, both innocent and proven guilty. Have to put that out there because, But there seems to be evidence compounding now. Go check out my X page at Sam Bourquin 16. Check out a couple of my posts that I put up, a couple of my reposts within the last 15, 20 minutes. Little montages of Emmanuel Clase's pitches with the count at 0-0 to start off an at-bat in an inning. Go back and go take a look at those. At Sam Bourquin 16 on X. Give me a follow while you're there. So here we go. No Luis Ortiz. Now looks like no Emmanuel Clase. What does this mean for the Guardians now? Are you done? Have you raised the white flag, or you just throw Kim Smith in there? You've got Herron. You've brought him up. Business as usual. Next man up, and we go. Next man up, and we go. Guardians are officially 8 games out of first. Guardians are officially 3.5 games out of the third wild card spot in the American League. So what do they do now? We were together last Thursday. We did not have a show Friday. And I said, we get back together here Monday, I'm going to have a pretty clear idea what we should do. Didn't see the Emmanuel Clase thing coming. Didn't see it coming. Maybe we should have. Did Luis Ortiz rat on Emmanuel Clase? Are they somehow tied at the hip with this thing? Did he snitch on him during his investigation? I don't know. We won't know until it all comes out, if it does. Eventually, everything in life does come out. Sometimes you got to wait a long, long time, i.e. Michigan penalties for cheating. You just got to wait forever. But maybe during the Luis Ortiz investigation, maybe they talked to Clase. Yeah. Or maybe Luis Ortiz snitched on Clase when he was being questioned. Who knows? Who knows? A lot of people have been texting me and asking me, why do these millionaires do this? Why do they go down this road? Aren't they making enough? Why would they put themselves in this position? What is there to gain? And then a lot of texts have been coming in, this sports betting. It's just going to get worse. We should have seen this coming. Look at all the sports leagues that are in bed with these sports apps. We should have seen it coming.
Buck texts in to say, Sam, only Cleveland. Browns, domestic violence issues. Guardians, gambling issues.
Yeah. Go Cavs.
Go Cavs.
It's the only organization in that town that's worth anything. I mean, where are we at with the sports gambling, with the sports betting? This was supposed to, the whole idea behind the legalization of it, as I put it in air quotes, this was supposed to make everybody feel 100,000 times better about sports betting, about sports gambling. Now, maybe it does, because look at all the cameras, look at all the video, look at all the eyes in the sky, look at all the concentration on it. Maybe this is good. Maybe this is a good thing. We're just going to keep peeling back layers, and we're going to keep picking off names, and we're going to keep suspending guys until we get to the absolute bottom root of the whole thing. Well, I got news for you. Between pro sports, between college sports, I don't care. I don't care if it's Division I, Ohio. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's Division I, Division II, Division III. I don't care if it's NAIA. Everybody's under the umbrella, okay? Oh, you can't bet on Mountain. Oh, the hell you can't. The hell you can't. Bet on anything. You get the right app, you can bet on anything. You can bet on what the grass pattern in the outfield of a stadium is going to look like from game to game. Is it going to be diamond cut? Is it going to be crisscross? You can bet on anything if you want to. You just need an account and a little bit of money. That's all you need. But these guys, some of these athletes have taken this to the next level. They're bringing in their friends. They're trying to hook them up. They're trying to hook themselves up. They're fixing game situations. They could be fixing games. Look what happened to Class A last year in the playoffs. I'm not saying, but I'm not saying. Manuel Clase's, what is he making? What does he make? $6 million a year? $8 million a year? I have to look it up. But then you see these other guys looking around saying, hey, this guy's making 18 a year. This guy's making 20. This guy in the bullpen's making 24. I want to live that kind of a lifestyle. What do I need to do to get that? What do I need to fix? Who do I need to help out? What do I need to do to get in the group? This to me is almost like, how do I say this without coming off as a talk show snob? I've been saying for years, I've been telling, not you as in you, but I've been telling you all, take off the glasses, quit being so naive, and quit thinking that it can't happen. Stop the head up the rear end mentality. It has gone on since Adam and Eve. It goes on in 2025. Games have been fixed. Deal with it. Games have been manipulated. Games have been altered, whether it's by the league, whether it's by players, whether it's by confidants, whether it's by bookies, whether it's by the mob. Games have been fixed. And if you don't believe it, you're stupid. You better crawl underneath the rock again and come back out and say, hey, okay, explain to me how this works. It's going on right in front of your eyes. Oh, there's too much money involved. Guys wouldn't fix games. Too many people know. Really? Really? Take off the naive glasses. Please look at what's going on around. Guys are overcome by the want, the need for money. They might be in a problem. They got to get out of a jam. They've been stuck. They got to get out. Somebody's got to get money from them, through them, somehow, so that they can maybe, walk the earth. This guy owes this guy. That guy owes that guy. This guy needs to make this situation happen so somebody over here can benefit. Sometimes I wonder if it was better when Cousin Knuckles on Fifth Avenue was running a book for the neighborhood. I wonder if that might be better. Because you can bet on everything, every game, every day, all the time. Right at your fingertips. Computer, phone, whatever. I don't care what it is. Casino. Brick and mortar. And look, I'm not telling you gambling bad, not good. That goes against our belief. I'm not telling you that. I like to gamble. I like the sports bet. But I know this stuff has gone on for years. And people, you better wake up. How many of you just watched the Guardians and the Kansas City Royals series? How many of you watched, the Saturday afternoon game? Clase comes in, gives up the home run to Jonathan India. What do we think? Damn. Okay, well, that's the first walk-off he's given up this year. Look back at it now. You raise an eyebrow or two? Go back and look at his first pitch sequence to the first batters he faces, whether it's to open up an inning or when he comes in out of the pen. Go back. I've got a couple of videos I've reposted from a couple of sources. Check me out on X at Sam Bourquin 16. Go back and look at him. It's the same thing we saw with Luis Ortiz. Guy just chucking balls at 54 feet in the dirt to make sure it was a ball. Maybe throwing in a little piece of high cheese so somebody can rock one over the fence. Don't tell me games can't be fixed. Don't tell me situations can't be rigged or manipulated. Get over yourselves with that thinking. It's always gone on. It's just now out in the open. More cell phones, more cameras, more apps. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X, you name it, it's out there. You're really, if you're, look here, if you're doing it now, if these players, you're really stupid. Luis Ortiz, you're really dumb. Emmanuel Clase, you're really stupid. Because you ought to know better that you are not going to get away with it. The law of averages tells you, you might get over at some point. You might get over for a season. You might get over for a couple of weeks. But eventually, there's going to be a mistake. And somebody really, really, really smart and really, really savvy is going to figure it out. And guess what? You just got busted. Again, innocent until proven guilty. I've seen enough video already myself. I've seen enough. And could Luis Ortiz and Emmanuel Clase be tied at the hip? Maybe. Maybe not. Could Ortiz have snitched to the investigators on Clase? Absolutely. Could have. Maybe he didn't, but he could have. Okay, Luis, you tell us this, and then we'll maybe help you out with A, B, and C. You tell us what you know. Everything, we're not letting you out of this room until you tell us exactly what you know. What's Luis Ortiz going to do? He's going to roll. And guess what? Emmanuel Clase is in trouble. And now the Cleveland Guardians are really, really in a jam. Now you got two pitchers now, a starter and your closer, pretty much cooked. On paid administrative leave until the end of August. You're probably cooked. The trade deadline's coming up here in a couple of days on July 31st. Now what are you going to do? Can't trade Clase. Who's going to want him? You can't use him. You can't bring him out of the pen, and now you can't trade him. What are you going to do now? Looks like it's the Cade Smith and Tim Herron show. Welcome to Progressive Field. 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. You can text us at 330-924-7088. You can also watch us and listen to us on our social media platforms at AM 1310 WDPN on X, on Facebook, and, of course, the Q92 radio page on YouTube. This was supposed to be a nice, fun, uplifting show today. Couldn't wait to tell you about the weekend. See how your weekend went. What did you enjoy? What did you do? Are you looking forward to another great week? Hall of Fame just around the corner. Good stuff over the weekend, except for the balloons didn't go up again and again and again and again. But nope. Didn't happen. We'll get to all that, but it had to take a little backseat for a little while. And we'll see what else comes up here this afternoon. By the way, the Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. What is your thoughts? What are your opinions on legalized sports betting? What's your opinion on legalized sports gambling? 330-821-1310. Drop your comments on all of our social media platforms. Lots of great response and comments coming in so far. I'm sure they will get better as we go. So we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll kind of reset. By the way, Bob Nightengale, baseball writer for USA Today, will be live on our show today with us at 5:15. And we'll talk to Bob about the Guardians, the Emmanuel Clase situation, Luis Ortiz, the trade deadline, and a whole lot more. Bob Nightengale, USA Today, here at 5:15. Right now, news and weather coming up. It's the Sam Bourquin Show. Just getting started on your Monday, AM 1310 WDPN.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. 2 people have been killed and at least 3 others hospitalized after a shooting at a casino in Reno, Nevada. Officials tell the Associated Press that a gunman opened fire just outside the Grand Sierra Resort Casino. Reno police spokesman Chris Johnson says the gunman was taken into custody today and was being treated at a hospital. He says the shooting was reported around 7:30 this morning outside the casino in the Valet area. Reno police warned residents to stay out of the vicinity. A spokesman for Renown Regional Medical Center says the hospital's emergency department received several patients with gunshot wounds. A federal judge is moving to block a portion of the so-called One Big Beautiful Bill, which President Trump signed into law earlier this month. Provision in question targets Planned Parenthood. The group says it could lead to several of its clinics shutting down. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy has more from Washington.
The massive tax policy bill included a provision that was written to prohibit Planned Parenthood from receiving any federal Medicaid funds, even when abortions aren't provided. In ordering the funds to keep flowing, Massachusetts-based federal judge Indira Talwani says the new law likely violates the Constitution in 3 ways. First, by stepping on Planned Parenthood's First Amendment rights. Second, by violating the Equal Protection Clause of the Fifth Amendment. And thirdly, by amounting to an unconstitutional bill of attainder, the kind of law that singles out an entity for punishment.
The ongoing humanitarian crisis in Gaza is front and center as President Trump meets with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer today in Scotland. Trump says he's concerned about the reports of starvation in Gaza and also says the UK will help to deliver more aid. Starmer says there's a sense of urgency with helping Palestinians, especially children.
There's a sense of revulsion in the British public at what they're seeing, and they know and we know that humanitarian aid needs to get in at speed, at volume. Yes, some could be airdropped, and we're working with others, with the US, with Jordan, on that, but the trucks need to get in.
The Hamas-run Ministry of Health says 14 more people, including children, died from malnutrition over the past 24 hours. Baseball and football legend Deion Sanders says he has been battling an aggressive form of bladder cancer and had his bladder removed. He says he is ready to coach the University of Colorado Buffaloes football team. ABC's Alex Stone reports.
Deion Sanders says he wants his cancer to be a catalyst for Americans to get checked out, to go to their annual exams as he did when it was found. Sanders lost 25 pounds while battling cancer and says he has a road to full recovery, but that his doctors have determined he is, quote, cured. When it comes to cancer, he says,
it's real. Everybody in this room, I guarantee you, have been affected by that C word somewhere. in your life, some parent, some friend, some loved one.
He is thanking God for being alive. Sanders says he's strong and ready for the football season.
It's 87 degrees and Alliance at 332. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Forecast for this afternoon calling for sunshine and a high near 91 degrees. Very humid with heat index values as high as 96. Overnight, partly cloudy, some late patchy fog, a low around 70. Patchy fog early on Tuesday, otherwise mostly sunny. Again, warm, very humid, 92, with heat index values as high as 99. For Wednesday, chance of showers and thunderstorms, a high of 89, chance of rain 50%. That's your WDPN weather.
Music and intelligence for your life.
No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room. Join me for Music and Intelligence for Your Life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPN.
You heard it on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Our troops overseas will always miss their loved ones throughout the year. Let them know you miss and support our troops by sending a care package. This message courtesy of Quick Fix Mobile Welding, proudly serving our area with excellence. For all of your residential and commercial custom fabrication and welding needs, call 330-529-9810. That's 330-529-9810. Quick Fix Mobile Welding, on the air, reminding everyone to please send a military care package.
Do we want to get right?
All right, welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Check us out on all of our social media platforms, AM 1310 WDPN, on Instagram, on X, on Facebook, the Q92 radio page on YouTube. Phones are open. Let's go. I want to hear from you today. 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. You can also text the show anytime at 330-924-7088. Sam Bourquin Show, poll question of the day. What are your thoughts? What is your opinion on legalized sports gambling? If you just tuned in, Emmanuel Clase, under investigation by Major League Baseball for possible sports betting, sports gambling. He is on the paid administrative list. He's on leave until the end of August. He will join Luis Ortiz. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What are your thoughts on sports gambling? What are your thoughts on sports betting? Bill says, I don't like it. Eric says, Sam, it's overdue, but there are too many snakes and people can clearly be bought. Hashtag guardsball. Jason Allen Murphy, out in Vegas, says you need to go back to having any of it and make it. Let me read this again. Need to go back to not having any of it. Make it like the older times when you met your local take at the coffee shop and settled up every Monday. Jim says way overdone. Brent says it's ruining sports and people's lives. When gambling websites are sponsors, are we foolish enough not to think the competition is not going to occur? Do you think the games aren't going to be fixed? Legalized gambling equals legalized corruption. Great post, Brent. Great post. Jim says, I like it. I like it a lot, But if it starts to ruin sports, I think you've got to beef up on the security. And if you cheat or if you have any association with gambling, you are barred and you are banned for life. Tim says, I never liked it. Recent headlines prove it is not manageable. Tracy says, I don't like it. Jim says, it's just legalized cheating at this point. And Sean checks in and says, Sam, I got 2 words for you. Pandora's box. Let us know. 330-821-1310. What are your thoughts on sports betting, on legalized sports betting and gambling? What do you think? You can also let us know on our 1310 WDPN social media platforms. All right, Rainsburg, I forgot to even ask you today. How was your weekend? I got so fired up when I opened up the mic today. I said, you know what? I didn't ask. I should always ask when we start the show on Monday.
Oh, it was good.
So
My allergies.
You weren't sports betting, were you?
No.
Okay.
No, I know better. It's a good thing I don't know anything about sports, or I'd probably do more sports betting. So, because that's my only roadblock is that I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm going to keep it as much that way as possible. No, I think I got a little cold over the weekend, so I didn't do too much.
Oh, okay. Well,
just a little congestion, probably allergies.
Feeling better?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's good.
Just some running, some nose runnage, the usual summertime allergy crap, as it were.
It's about that time. You know what the old timers would say? It's going around.
Yep.
Here we go.
That time of year again.
It's that time of year again. Yep. It's a day that ends in Y. Hey, there's West Nile virus in that mosquito. Really? Haven't heard that before.
Not the first time.
Timmy Y, the gambler guy, says, hey, I just bet my buddy $100 that the lady in front of him at Sheetz is getting lottery tickets, and it'll take her over 3.5 minutes. He lost.
That's a good bet. I could bet that.
Don't you love that when you go to a convenience store?
Oh,
and you're in there to A, if you're not using your card, you're not getting it at the pump, so you got to go in and get it. You use cash, or maybe you can use your card inside, whatever. All you want to do is get gas, or all you want to do is get a bottle of water or a can of pop. Undoubtedly, there are 3 people in front of you. They're all getting cigarettes.
Oh, every time.
And they're all getting lottery tickets. And they want, okay, in the pick 3, I want 824. I want to box it. I want to spin it. Okay, now I want the pick 4. Now I want to back that up at 50. Seriously? Every single time. I just want to get gas.
Well, they have an app for that now, right?
For what?
For lottery tickets.
Oh, well, yeah, we're going to get into that.
Oh, yeah? Is that part of today's conversation?
Well, it was going to be tomorrow, but it might have been moved up to today. Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I just want to get gas. Bottle of water. That's all I want. Can I get a pack of Marlboro Lights? I want to play pick 4. I want to back it up. Jesus. Really? And there's 3 or 4 of them every time. I want to get that skull. No, the bandits. No, over there. No, that's not what I want. You want these? Nope. Meanwhile, another 4 people come in, waiting in line. Gus is still trying to get his skull bandits.
Oh, because there's like 30 different types of Marlboros.
And
I used to be a smoker, so I know all about that.
And then you get Mabel is in there hacking up a lung, but she's got to get her Saratoga menthols by the case.
Needs her Newports.
Unbelievable. I mean, seriously. Jeez. Folks, I'm in a good mood today, by the way. I really am. Had a lot of fun in Detroit with the family. We had a nice little getaway. Kind of took it easy. Saturday we were going to go to Kent for the balloon thing. Well, they never went up in the air again. So we were going to go for the fireworks and the drone show. Well, then the rain took over. And you could tell by the radar, like every 45 minutes, a downpour was going to happen. So we waited it out. And then I said, you know what? let's just go somewhere out around the strip and park, and we'll have our chairs, and we'll watch the drone show. We'll get a good view, and we'll watch fireworks. So that's what we did. We ended up going over to the old Movies 10, which is what now, the Bistro or something?
Oh, yeah. I think it's the Bistro.
Yeah, cool place. We've been there. And we rolled in. I mean, we literally pulled in the parking lot at 9:40. Got a nice spot, watched the drone show, enjoyed the fireworks, got back in the car. We were home by 10:15, 10:25. So that was cool. That worked out. And then there was yesterday. Cat. Emergency room visit, $3,000. Cat. Emergency room, $3,000.
Did you take the cat to the emergency room? Or?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure if the cat injured somebody resulting.
No.
Okay, that's better.
No, yeah. So
that could have been worse.
So the cat is still there, getting better, improving. Looks like she'll be able to come home tonight, which is good. Had a lot going on. Just happened in like the blink of an eye yesterday. It's a good thing that the couple of us were home, or I don't know how that would have went. I don't know how that would have ended. So she's recuperating, getting better. I think we're going to bring her home tonight. So here we are on Monday. And now Emmanuel Class A. Oh, yeah? You thought you were going to have a good, easy, fun show today? Nope. So here we are. What are the Guardians going to do now? How does this change the way they look at the trade deadline? Do they think that they're out of it now? I mean, folks, I got to tell you, we went and watched the Tigers and the Blue Jays Friday night. And shout out to former Jackson Polar Bear Dylan Dingler and former Buckeye Dylan Dingler. He got a base hit, got a couple RBIs on Friday. Other than that, Detroit stunk. I see a lot of flaws there, folks. I really do. Now, look, I know we're still 8 games out. And I know they beat Toronto yesterday. They kind of got it out of their system because Toronto beat them Thursday. They beat them Friday, and they beat them Saturday. Blue Jays almost swept Detroit at Comerica Park. So they were scuffling. That's why I said the Guardians didn't really help themselves over the weekend. If they could have took 2 out of 3 from Kansas City, I would have felt a lot better today. But now I know we don't have our closer. Okay? So it's a little bit of a different feeling. But how do the Guardians go about this now? What do you do? Do you think you're in it? Do you think you're in it? And at what point do you think you're in it? How far do you think you can go? Do you think you can win a first-round series, the wild card? Can you win a divisional playoff? Can you get to the ALCS? Can you win that? Can you go to the World? I mean, you got to be honest with yourselves. How do you think? What do you think's going through their mind right now? And I know we've been over this a couple of weeks now. Buy, sell, stand pat. Well, it's, what is today? August the 28th. Okay? Buy, sell, stand pat. If you're going to make a deal, you just lost your best piece. You just lost your best movable piece in Emmanuel Class A. Nobody is going to want a guy who's on the list. Okay? So he's out. You can't use him. You can't move him. So now if you're the people in charge, you're Chris Anthony, what are you going to do? Look at your roster right now. Look at your starters. Look at your rotation. Look at your middle guy. Look at your end of the pen. Look at the closing situation, okay? Now look at your everyday players. First, second, third, short, left, right, center, catcher, DH. Look at the teams that are above you. Look where you have to go, what you have to do. Can you do anything now? Can you do business as you're set right now with your roster? If you had hopes of Josh Naylor coming back, we'll forget that. He got traded to the Mariners over the weekend. Royals just signed Seth Lugo to a 2-year, $40-50 million contract. You're not getting him. Royals think maybe they can make a move. They're right on the tails of the Guardians now as far as the wild card is concerned. They don't think they're out of it yet, so they might get down. They might get some action going. But if you're Cleveland, what do you do? Look here, you got 3 against the Rockies. Need to sweep, okay? Need to sweep. That would get you to 2, 3, 4. That'll get you to 55 and 53. Okay? I'll take a look at the Tigers' schedule. Let you know what they've got coming up. I still think you're probably not going to catch Detroit. Probably most likely not going to catch them. Focus on that wild card. You need to sweep Colorado. You need some of these other teams to, to bite the dust a little bit. You need the Yankees to lose. You need the Rays to lose. You need the Twins to struggle. You need the Royals to lose. Astros, Angels. You need some help. You got to leapfrog a lot of teams. The question is, do you think you can win a World Series? That's the end goal. That's where you want to be. Well, we can probably win the wild card. Or no, we can probably get to the wild card. Well, I think we can get to the divisional. We can win the wild card. We'll get to the division. We probably won't win. We probably don't have enough, but we'll get there. I mean, where do you stand up and say, hey, look, if we ain't winning the World Series, then we're raising the flag? Or are you okay with getting a part of the way or halfway or 3/4 of the way, and you're good with that? And if that's your mindset, that's your attitude, okay, that's your opinion. I don't know. I was always under the assumption that you try to be a champ. You go for the chip. You want to get that ring, right? You want to raise the trophy, right? That's why we play. But where does Cleveland's front office sit today? What are they going to do? You should sweep Colorado, for God's sake. The Rockies are 27 and 78. Let me say that again. The Colorado Rockies are 27 and 78. If you don't sweep this series, you don't deserve to go any further. I don't care about no. Sweep the Rockies. Who's to say you got to split with the good teams and beat the bums? Well, there's no bigger bum in the major leagues than Colorado, okay? The White Sox are better than Colorado. Split it with the good teams, beat the bums. You got to sweep the bums. And then you go from there. If we head into the weekend and, we're 2 or 3 games over 500, there's been a little movement. Oh, by the way, the trade deadline, that is Friday, correct? 31st is Friday.
I think it's Thursday. Hold on.
Make sure.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. It's
Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So, and I think the deadline is 6 o'clock. So there's going to be a lot of rumor, a lot of stuff thrown around, a lot of wild scenarios. But guess what? None of those now are going to involve Guardians pitcher Emmanuel Clase. He's off the list. What do you do if you're Cleveland? Cleveland fans, what do you do? What's the right thing? What's the smart thing to do? Let me ask you, do you think they can win the World Series? No, forget that. Do you think you can get to the World Series with what you have? Can you get there? Could you get there if you even added a piece or two? And if the answer is no, then we need to talk about making some moves for the future. 3:53 is our time. AM 1310, WDPN. It's the Sam Bourquin Show on a Monday afternoon. We'll take a break and come back. Stay with us.
Hello, I'm Count Nation Queen contestant number 16, Annabelle Goodwin, sponsored by Mad Trail Leasing. As we celebrate this year's Carnation Festival, I'm inviting all area golfers to take part in the 29th Annual Carnation Golf Scramble on Friday, August 1st at Tanner Hall Golf Club, sponsored by the YWCA. We will hit the green at 9 a.m. for a great day of golf on a beautiful course.
Are you ready to up your mealtime game with a beautiful new dining suit? How about your movie nights on the couch? Is more comfortable seating on your list this year? Maybe you just need a better night's rest. Whatever the case, when we spend time at home with our families, we all want quality, comfort, and names we can trust. That's why Grove's appliances, furniture sets, and even their mattresses make all the difference. With a beautiful showroom full of ideas and over 700 fabric choices for furniture, you'll be sure to find something that will fit beautifully into your home. On a budget, Grove has a scratch and dent room filled with appliances with minor aesthetic blemishes that can help you replace that fridge on the fritz for a fraction of the cost. Come and see why Grove is better than big box stores. Explore your options and get to know Grove's amazing staff and stellar service team to help with all of your needs.
Come see us at Grove, where it always feels like home.
This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy, feel it in the ground. Life, fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below. You take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
Welcome back, everybody. AM 1310 WDPN. It is the Sam Bourquin Show. Happy Monday. Hey, stay cool out there. Heat index getting up there again today. 97, 98, 99. Same deal tomorrow. Pretty much the same deal Wednesday, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday are looking fantastic. I mean, if you could draw up Hall of Fame weather, this is what we've got coming. Temperatures in the upper 70s, lows in the upper 50s, sunshine, and very low humidity. It is going to be awesome. I can't wait. I can't wait to be out and about. We're going to be doing our show live at the Pro Football Hall of Fame on Friday from 3 until 6, so we hope you can join us there. I'll be here Thursday. And then I'm gonna get to the game because I want to get some stuff up on social media for everybody. I don't know when I'm going to get to the game, but I'm going to get there, and I'll have some videos and photos, and we'll do some fun stuff there. May do some stuff with Keller, okay, at the game. But again, I don't know what time I'm going to get there, but when I do, we'll get some stuff rolling for you. Saturday we've got so I'm going to do the show at the Hall of Fame on Friday. And then we get the parade Saturday. And then the enshrinement Saturday afternoon. We got a bunch of other cool stuff going on with our sister station, Q92. We got the concert Sunday. So there's a lot of stuff going on. But the weather is going to be fantastic. I can't wait. We've all suffered through some brutal, hot and humid weather, and we've done it during Hall of Fame week. Whether it's the game, the concert, the enshrinement, the ribs burn-offs of the day, whatever. Remember, it's been like 89 and just muggy and just this is going to be fantastic. You're going to love the weather coming up. So that should put a little smile on your face, because that's just kind of what we need, and we're going to get it. So that is going to be fun. That is going to be fun. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. Don't forget to give us a follow on X at AM1310 WDPN. Show today, the poll question of the day. What is your thoughts? What are your opinions on legalized sports betting? What are your thoughts on legalized sports gambling? Drop us a comment on our social media pages, or better yet, give us a call. Let's just you and me, let's have a little discussion. 330-821-1310. Don't forget, USA Today baseball writer, outstanding baseball writer, Bob Nightengale, joining us at 5:15 today to get into the Guardians, the Emmanuel Clase situation, the Major League Baseball trade deadline, and so much more. That'll be at 5:15 today. We'll check in with USA Today baseball writer, Mr. Bob Nightengale. We'll check in on the Browns. Get you ready for Hall of Fame week. Got a lot of stuff going on this day in sports history. So come on back. We'll take a break. 2 more big hours to go. It's the Sam Bourquin Show on a Monday. AM 1310 WDPN.
Keeping Alliance entertained and informed for over a half a century. AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. 2 Israeli humanitarian groups said today for the first time Israel is carrying out a genocide in Gaza, where there are reports of children dying from malnourishment. Dr. Nick Maynard's a volunteer surgeon and says,
I saw multiple gunshot wounds inflicted on young teenage boys, sometimes as young as 11, 12, 13, who go to these food distribution points to get food for their starving families.
Today, President Trump disputed a claim from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that there is no starvation. The president discussed building food distribution centers. He met with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer as he continues his trip overseas. He's in Scotland, but in the U.S., a federal judge in Boston blocked his administration's plans to block funding for Planned Parenthood, writing it likely violates the Constitution. Football legend Deion Sanders revealed he's been treated for bladder cancer. The University of Colorado head coach urged people to get checked. This is ABC News.
Your summer might be winding down, but there's still plenty of warm weather on the way. And at Macy's, it's the perfect time to shop late summer deals like cotton dresses from Karl Lagerfeld and more that you can wear now and layer up later for $150 and under. Plus, new Levi's are here, like trending cinched waist jeans for 30% off. So come into Macy's and walk out with late summer deals too good to miss. Starting Wednesday at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
When you think home insurance, you think boring and complex, right? Wrong. Allstate is now changing the game with our new and improved home insurance. And it all starts with a simplified shopping experience. Our latest online quoting tool gives you confidence in not only knowing you have the right protection, but our lowest price, too. So check Allstate first for home insurance that's better than ever. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings and prices vary. Coverage subject to terms, qualifications, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. A woman is charged with attempted murder following a shooting in Alliance. 26-year-old Kenetia Miller of Canton was arrested Friday on warrants, also charging her with discharge of a firearm on or near a prohibited premises, improperly handling firearms in a motor vehicle, and attempted felonious assault. She allegedly was in a car when she shot at a woman at North Freedom Avenue and 2nd Street on the morning of July 21st. Miller is also accused of previously telling the victim's daughter she would kill her mother. She was arraigned today in Alliance Municipal Court. A preliminary hearing is set for August 4th. Miller is jailed on $250,000 bond. Brooke Figenschue is the 2015 Greater Alliance Carnation Festival Queen. The 18-year-old who graduated from Alliance High School this spring won the honor over 17 other contestants. She was crowned by 2024 Queen O'Neill Everett. Her court includes First Attendant Haley Morris, Second Attendant Avery Horning, Third Attendant Carlasia West Cole, and Miss Congeniality Sophia Thomas. The Carnation Festival runs from Thursday through August 10th. Vice President J.D. Vance visited Canton today. The VP appeared at the Metallus steel plant. Vance touted the tax cut and spending bill approved by Congress earlier this month. He cast a tie-breaking vote in favor of the measure, which he said includes a record level of tax and spending cuts, secure border, American energy dominance, and regulatory reform. A crash in Jackson Township took the life of a North Canton man. The Highway Patrol says 58-year-old Larry Jeffries was driving a motorcycle south on Frank Avenue just before 1:30 Saturday afternoon. A vehicle driven by 24-year-old Luca Stambaugh of North Canton attempted a left-hand turn from the far right lane onto Mega Street. The motorcycle hit the Stambaugh vehicle in the driver's side. Jeffries was pronounced dead at Mercy Hospital. He was not wearing a helmet. The crash is under investigation. A Massillon woman is dead after a two-vehicle crash in western Kentucky. State police say 32-year-old Kristen Bowling was northbound on I-169 in Christian County Sunday afternoon when she pulled over to secure luggage on the roof of her car. Her vehicle was then struck by a car driven by a 62-year-old Madisonville, Kentucky man. Bowling was pronounced dead at the scene. A male passenger in her vehicle was taken to a hospital for treatment. His condition was not available. Police say it's not clear why the second car went off the road. The crash is under investigation. Another scam is targeting area residents. According to the Portage County Sheriff's Office, someone calls victims and tells them their computers are infected with a virus. They are also given a number they are told is for their bank's fraud department. Victims are then asked to withdraw funds to invest directly in Bitcoin to resolve the problem. Anyone who receives such a call is asked to call the Sheriff's Office or state and federal authorities. 2 people targeted by the scam have lost a total of $25,400. A Columbiana County man is charged with carrying a firearm without a license after TSA officers at Pittsburgh International Airport discovered a gun in his luggage. Allegheny County police say the alleged incident involving 47-year-old Justin Stanley of Negley occurred around 8 a.m. Sunday. Stanley does not have a concealed carry permit. He was arraigned Sunday and taken to the Allegheny County Jail, where he's being held on $3,000 bond. Stanley is scheduled to return to court for a preliminary hearing August 4th. Youngstown police are investigating after a body was found on the city's south side. WFMJ-TV reports residents on East Myrtle Avenue alerted officers to a foul odor around noon Sunday. Body of a man was found in a yard between Erie Street and Lois Court. There was no word on a cause of death. An autopsy will be performed. A man is in stable condition after being shot in Youngstown. Police say the incident occurred overnight along Ravenwood Avenue on the city's south side. The victim was transported to a hospital with leg and hip wounds. Further details of the shooting were not available. An investigation is underway. 2 men are indicted in a 3-year-old federal drug case. 21-year-old Jonathan Streb and 22-year-old Javon Thomas are charged with possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance. The indictment was issued July 9th but unsealed Friday. The charges accuse the men of having cocaine, fentanyl, and methamphetamine on December 9th, 2022. Thompson also had a semi-automatic rifle. The government looks to seize the gun, 48 rounds of ammunition, and just over $4,000 in cash. Both men are in the Mahoning County Jail. A Struthers man accused of dragging his girlfriend with his vehicle is sentenced. 45-year-old Nicholas Machar pleaded guilty to misdemeanor assault. He was sentenced to 180 days in jail with 150 suspended. Machar was also given 12 months probation. Camel police responded to Trumbull Avenue and 14th Street June 22nd for a report of a woman struck by a vehicle. She said the two were arguing and Machar accelerated when she tried to get out of the car. The woman fell and a tire ran over her foot. She was treated for minor injuries. The city of Youngstown has a bus it isn't using. According to the Vindicator, acquiring the $696,000 electric bus was conditioned of a $10.8 million grant used as part of $28 million in improvements to downtown streets. State law requires the autonomous bus to have a driver. The Illinois-based manufacturer paid for a driver through the end of June, but the cost must now be picked up by the city. The driver must also get out to open the main door on the other side of the bus, as it doesn't have automatic doors. The vehicle is currently parked at the WRTA garage on Mahoning Avenue. The 10-passenger bus drove a route of 0.6 of a mile on Federal Street from mid-February until it was parked at the end of June. It's 88 degrees in Alliance at 407. This is the local edition of WDPN News. The forecast is next, a service of Canterbury Villa of Alliance. I'm Jeff Mears.
This WDPN weather is brought to you by Canterbury Villa of Alliance, where your loved ones become family. Schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000.
In the forecast for this afternoon, sunny skies, a high near 91, continued very humid with heat index values as high as 96. Tonight, partly cloudy, patchy fog late, a low around 70. Patchy fog early on Tuesday, otherwise mostly sunny, continued warm and humid, high temperature 92 with heat index values as high as 99. Showers and thunderstorms possible on Wednesday, a high of 89, chance of rain 50%. That's your WDPN weather.
Send your loved ones to a place that cares and a place that they can trust. They'll find a place that feels like home at Canterbury Villa in Alliance. They will provide the highest level of care to their residents when it comes to skilled nursing, rehabilitation, long-term care, and Alzheimer's care. At Canterbury Villa, your loved ones become family. Located on Freshley Avenue, schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000 and ask for Samantha Nutter. At Canterbury Villa, they walk the talk.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Perkins, center field. That'll get it done. Scored as a hit. In comes Haas, and the Brewers walk off the Marlins.
Mustaches today.
This into left field, continues the parade, and it gets away from Schneider. Just keep running, boys. Let it all out. Ball takes it away, throw back to first, and now we have trouble. Eco racing back, now the runner heads home. Here's the throw, it's high, and now Ian Hemp is in a pickle. Here's chaos. Ball hits Ian Hemp. There's a collision, and Hemp is ruled that he's going to score. It's interference, and it's 5-1 Cubs. Oh, baby. How about that?
Here they come off of turn 4. The Brickyard belongs to Bubba. Wallace wins it Indy, and he's going to the playoffs.
Here we go, hour 2 of the Sam Bourquin Show. Buckle up. Welcome in AM 1310 WDPN. You can watch and listen to us on the AM 1310 WDPN page on Facebook, our X page, and of course, the Q92 radio page on YouTube. Sam Bourquin here, Ryan Rainsberg on the other side of the glass. Welcome into the Monday edition. This is hour 2 of 3. Lots to get to today. Show was kind of thrown a little curve, if you know what I mean, or a bad Emmanuel Clase slider, one of the two. So we've had to readjust, refocused, reset, and we're off to the races. If you just tuned in, if you haven't heard, if you're just coming on board, first of all, thank you for stopping by. Love to have you here Monday through Friday, 3 until 6, 1310 WDPN. Number 2, Emmanuel Clase, under investigation by Major League Baseball for possible sports gambling, sports betting. Under that umbrella, he's on paid administrative leave through August the 31st. We're going to hear from Chris Antonetti coming up here in just a couple of minutes, so stay tuned for that. Also, Bob Nightengale, USA Today baseball writer, will join us at 5:15 today. So get ready for that as well. That's 5:15 here on the show. My first inclination when I saw the news today was, how does this affect the Guardians for the trade deadline? Luis Ortiz gone? Pretty much. Emmanuel Clase gone? Pretty much. I mean, if everything comes up roses and everything checks out and they're innocent and this and that and the other, you're not getting them back till September 1st, okay? So they're pretty much gone. Now what do you do if you're Cleveland? You're 52-53. You blew 2 out of 3 to Kansas City over the weekend. The Tigers lost 3 out of 4 to Detroit. And then the teams above you in the wild card just kind of had so-so weekends. You're still 3.5 out of the third place spot for a wild card in the American League. So how does this change the focus? What's the mood of the team? What's the mood of the front office? What's the mood of the clubhouse? What's Stephen Vogt thinking right now? And what in the hell is wrong with Emmanuel Clase? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with Luis Ortiz? Thanks. Thanks a lot. Chris Antonetti spoke just a couple of minutes ago. We're going to run his video for you here. And I think what I'll have Ryan do is we're just going to knock them out one after the other. But I will introduce the first one was he met the media just a little while ago talking about the allegations with Emmanuel Clase, the investigation going on, what their focus is, next man up. They're going to cooperate. Here's Chris Antonetti from the Cleveland Guardians.
It is what it is. Again, both guys won't be available to us for the near term, and we need to figure out a way to overcome that. And, it's not too dissimilar. It is what it is. Again, both guys won't be available to us for the near term, and we need to figure out a way to overcome that. And, it's not too dissimilar at the moment for when players are injured and they're not available to us. We have to find the next group to step up and shoulder the load and find a way to win games. And that's really what we're focused on.
That's Anthony. They're talking about Ortiz and Clase not being available. Here's more from Chris Antonetti.
We've been informed by Major League Baseball. They were very clear to let us know that they don't expect any other players or staff members to be impacted.
All right, so at this time, nobody else is involved. Ortiz, and we know Clase, nobody else. Chris Anthony, what does this all mean for the franchise moving forward?
What I know is that the suspensions are in place through August 31st, and then we'll have to see where things are at that point. Obviously, for everyone, I think we'd prefer to have clarity sooner rather than later, but I recognize it's a complicated issue, and Major League Baseball has a number of steps they need to work through to complete that investigation.
All right, that was Chris Antonetti. Just met with the media about 22 minutes ago. Rockies in town, 3-game series with the Guardians tonight. First pitch, 6:40. It's a 3-game set, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Rockies, by the way, if you're keeping score at home, 27 wins and 78 losses on the season. You should sweep this series. Without Emmanuel Clase, you should sweep this series. By the way, if you're interested, the Guardians are minus 265 tonight. If you want to get a bet in. Probably feel safer now, right? That Emmanuel's not in the game. So the Guardians come in, or the Rockies come in for 3. Trade deadline is Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Boy, are we going to have a whale of a show on Friday. Broadcasting live on the grounds of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, getting you ready for football's greatest weekend. And, oh, by the way, the Major League Baseball trade deadline at 6 p.m. We're going to be doing some juggling on Friday at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But by all means, stop by and tune in on Friday. Could be a very interesting show Friday afternoon. Of course, there could be some stuff that could happen before too. 6 o'clock is the deadline. That's when you can't do any more deals. Okay, so stuff could start happening. I just saw the Royals, or was it the Twins? No, it was I think the Twins and the Tigers just made a small deal. We'll get to that here in a minute. But you can start doing stuff now because you saw Josh Naylor got traded over the weekend from the Diamondbacks to the Brewers. So stuff can happen. It just has to wrap up by Friday at 6 p.m. And usually these things go to the 24th hour. And there could be a lot of stuff coming Thursday, early Friday, late Friday afternoon, and then that's it. But Emmanuel Clase, did he not learn to what happened to Luis Ortiz? What is his predicament? Why is he involved? Again, innocent until proven guilty. Got to stress that. But look, There's more damning video evidence against Clase, just like there was against Luis Ortiz. Check me out on X, at Sam Bourquin 16. I had a couple of collages of Emmanuel Clase's pitches. And there's explanations that are written in the post that I shared. Go check those out, at Sam Bourquin 16 on X. You can watch those while you're listening to the show here, by the way. Piece of cake. Where do the Guardians go now? Chris Antonetti, I don't want to say he sounded defeated. He kind of, and God bless him, he's trying to make the best of a very tough situation. This also kind of begs the question, when did the Guardians know? When did they start maybe hearing some whispers? We all found out this afternoon. Did they know something maybe as early as last night? Did they know maybe on the plane ride home from Kansas City to Hopkins? When you got to believe somebody knew something, right? So had they already started preparing? What do they do? What would you do? I'm not saying can the year. I think they've worked too hard. They've got some guys that have been busting their tail. Stephen Vogt, for the most part, I think has done a pretty commendable job. They've had to overcome adversity a couple of times, whether it's been the gambling thing, whether it's been injuries to Shane Bieber and Gabby Arias and other guys, Lane Thomas. They've overcome. And they put that little stretch together against the Astra. And I thought, well, maybe this team, you know, what's my moniker for the Guardians this year? Expect the unexpected. Hashtag ad baby and sell a few shirts. But man, can you overcome another bullet? Can you go to the World Series without Emmanuel Clase as your closer? Now look, that could end up being a really dumb question, because if Emmanuel's not out there doing the right thing, trying to do the right thing all the time, then maybe you're better off without the guy. Maybe it's a little addition by subtraction. We've seen that work before. Maybe it will work again. But whatever the case, no Clase, no Ortiz to at least September the 1st. And at that point, where are you going to be? And can you even afford to bring that back into your clubhouse? I don't think you can. My God, I don't think you can. Jimmy says, get rid of them both. Mike says, I can't believe it, but yet again, I can. Tommy says, just like before it was legal, it is still bigger than the sports themselves. Doesn't matter during the time it was illegal or now being legal. Go back to the 1919, we had the Black Sox scandal. It was going on before then. And it's going to go on 100 years from now. Absolutely. I've been saying that. But now it's under a much bigger, a much closer microscope. Doug says so much money means too much temptation. Pam says, I hate all gambling, period. Tony says, what is going through their minds? The answer there is, Alex, can I have nothing for 200? If you were Chris Antonetti, if you were the front office, and I know it's a heavy burden to do, it's a heavy ask, are you going to buy or sell right now? What are you doing? Does this team have a chance? Do they have a chance to get to the World Series? I'll even take it a level down. I didn't say win it. I said get there. And if you don't think they can get there, then what are we doing? What are we doing? Get ready for next year. Oh, wait, we don't have Class A as a trade chip anymore because he's suspended. Nobody is going to want him. Shane Bieber's rehab assignment in Columbus got rained out over the weekend. So that kind of pushes him back a little. But I guarantee you, you're not looking at Shane Bieber in a Guardians uniform till maybe the third week of August. Where are you going to be then? Now, granted, you have 2 3-game sets left with the White Sox. I believe you have at least 2 3-game series with the, 2 3-game series with the Tigers, 2 3-game sets with the White Sox. And I know you got the Royals mixed in there. You got the Twins in there. The Marlins are in there. Again, the schedule is on your side for the most part. But now Stephen Vogt's got to look out of that bullpen, and Class A's not there. But again, if he's got an ulterior motive, maybe I just don't want him out there to begin with. Do you? Again, innocent until proven guilty. A lot of video evidence there. Could it be tied in with Ortiz? Did Ortiz roll on Class A to the investigators? Who knows? We don't know. That'll all come out in the wash, I'm sure. But you just heard Chris Antonetti. We played a couple of comments from him, and it sounds like he's bumming, and I don't blame him. Those guys work too hard. They work too hard. And then to wake up to that news today or hear it last night on the plane ride home, that sounded to me like he just got punched in the gut and didn't see it coming. And I bet you Stephen Vogt, I bet the players are, I bet you they are absolutely furious. And I don't want to hear, oh, well, we got to be there for Emmanuel Clase. He's our teammate. He's our friend. We don't know what he's going through. We got to be there to support him. I don't even want to hear that crap. Don't even go there. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the pampering, the babying. I don't want to hear it. Dude screwed his team. He screwed you. He screwed the franchise. I don't want to hear, but, well, let's see if he's okay. Maybe he's got a problem. I don't want to hear it. I don't care. I don't care. 4:26 is your time. We'll take a break here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Phones are open, 330-821-1310. Text line is open, too, at 330-924-7088. We'll be back.
Drugs and drug abuse have an effect on us all. Help stamp out drugs in our community by getting involved. This message courtesy of Wistman's Apex Tree Service in New Franklin, where they specialize in residential and commercial tree removals, proper pruning, and tree maintenance. Like them on Facebook and visit them online at apextreeohio.com or call 330-807-8398. 330-807-8398. Wistman's Apex Tree Service on the air because they care.
Mama, what does the chicken say? Dog. Cat. Giraffe.
Giraffe, really? Giraffe.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative,
and established the field of neuromuscular medicine. And until that day, when this is all a thing of the past, you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Hip, hip.
Welcome back. 28 minutes past the hour. News and weather coming up at the bottom of the hour. Still on this day in sports history coming up about 5:26 today. Bob Nightengale, USA Today baseball writer. That should be a fun conversation. Bob Nightengale will join us today coming up at 5:15. Phones are open 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. We appreciate you following, liking, commenting, and sharing all of our 1310 WDPN social media platforms, Facebook, X, Instagram, of course, the Q92 radio page on YouTube. Sam, why are you so angry at Ortiz? No empathy at all? Are you that callous? Yeah, I am. And no, I'm not empathetic toward that. If you're guilty, you made your bed, you sleep in it. I'm tired of the coddling of people that do things wrong. Oh, it's okay. He must have a underlying problem. Not my problem. His problem. Fix it. What are you doing? Luis Ortiz and Emmanuel Clase, what are you doing? Are you that dumb? Or are you a smart person that just did a really dumb thing? Man, I'd love to be a fly on the wall in the MLB investigative offices. The questions that are being asked, the video footage that is being glossed over, the people that are being interviewed, the information is being put out there on the table. I would love to be in there. Would love to be in there. Stephen Vogt has to be going out of his mind. Chris Antonetti has to be going out of his mind. They have to be. What do you think? Hey, who's going up to the game tonight, by the way? Beautiful night for baseball. Very winnable series, very winnable game. My man Slade Cicconi's on the bump tonight for Cleveland. What's the mood going to be like on Bolivar Avenue? On Euclid, East 9th. What's it going to feel like up there tonight? Once you get in the ballpark, you know how fans are going to talk. They're going to talk their whole walk from the casino, from the parking deck, to from Mall C, the Rapid. They're all going to be talking about it. I wonder what the mood's going to be like. I'll tell you one thing. It's going to be a very interesting broadcast and telecast tonight of the ball game. All right, we'll take a break. News and weather next, 1310 WDPN.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. At least 78 Palestinians have been killed across the Gaza Strip by Israeli strikes or gunfire. That, according to local health officials. This includes a pregnant woman whose baby was delivered after her death, but also died. The strikes occurred today, even as Israel moved to ease restrictions on aid entry. Israel announced a pause on operations for 10 hours a day to allow aid delivery, but aid agencies say this is insufficient. The United Nations reports that aid trucks are being unloaded by crowds before reaching their destinations. Israel continues military operations alongside these humanitarian measures. More from ABC's Tom Sufi-Burridge, who has reaction from President Trump.
I think there was a shift in tone from the president. I mean, look, on multiple occasions, he was talking about how children in Gaza had to be fed. And just hours after Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu had said there is no starvation in Gaza, the president said those children look very hungry. Quote, That's real starvation stuff. So it's significant. But again, President Trump wasn't criticizing the Israeli government directly, like other European countries have done.
A federal judge today said Planned Parenthood clinics nationwide must continue to be reimbursed for Medicaid funding as the nation's largest abortion provider fights President Trump's administration over efforts to defund the organization in his signature tax legislation. The new order replaces a previous edict handed down by a federal judge in Boston last week. They initially granted a preliminary injunction specifically blocking the government from cutting Medicaid payments to Planned Parenthood members that did not provide abortion care or did not meet a threshold of at least $800,000 in Medicaid reimbursements in a given year. Former NFL and MLB star and Colorado head coach Deion Sanders says he has been battling cancer and had a portion of his bladder removed. Sanders told reporters today that he is in good spirits and his prognosis is good. Sanders also said that he found the issue after a regular health screening with his primary care doctor. Dr. Bradley McGregor tells ABC News that Sanders' treatment included a surgery where a portion of his intestine was used to recreate part of his bladder and that his body will now have to get used to the change.
That doesn't happen overnight. And so this involves a lot of training over time where as it initially is done, you're urinating every couple of hours and really trying to get the piece of intestine that they've transformed that bladder to start acting as a bladder.
It's 89 degrees and Alliance at 432. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Sunshine in the forecast all afternoon. Very warm. Highs near 91 with heat index values as high as 96. Tonight, partly cloudy with some patchy fog after about 4 a.m. Otherwise, a low around 70 degrees. Tuesday, patchy fog early. Mostly sunny skies. Again, warm and humid, a high of 92. For Wednesday, slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise, partly sunny, a high near 89. That's your WDPN weather.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Hey, Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew, so here we go. First day on the job. We've got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. Happy Monday. Hope you're staying cool out there. It is another scorcher. Real feel about 97, 98 degrees right now. Same deal tomorrow. Going to cool down a little bit Wednesday, a little bit. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are looking pristine. I'm telling you, the weather's going to be fantastic for Hall of Fame week and Hall of Fame weekend. 330-821-1310 is our number, 330-821-1310. Big story today. Emmanuel Clase being investigated by Major League Baseball allegedly sports betting, sports gambling. He is on paid leave through August the 31st. He'll sit right next to his buddy, Luis Ortiz, as MLB investigators try to figure out what's going on. Where do the Guardians go from here? How do they approach the trade deadline? We heard from Chris Antonetti. We'll play those comments back for you coming up a little bit after 5:30 if you missed them the first time. But what do the Guardians do now? By the way, the Royals have reached a 2-year, $46 million extension with pitcher Seth Lugo. I'm going to get that to you. 5:15 coming up from USA Today. Baseball writer Bob Nightengale will join us at 5:15. This just in. Shane Bieber now scheduled for a rehab start for the Akron Rubber Ducks tomorrow night at Canal Park. Again, Shane Bieber will start for the Rubber Ducks tomorrow night at Canal Park. If you want to head over to the yard and check that out.
See, that was funny because that was my first question. I was like, we still have Bieber, right?
Right.
And you
it's
can
funny,
see
you just mentioned that, and I said, "Oh, look, I just saw
they're
the
gonna
post."
They're gonna start getting him in as many games as possible to get that arm ready to go.
Yeah, I just was scrolling through, and I saw that, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." So we'll pass this along. Shane Bieber again starting for the Akron Rubber Ducks tomorrow night. Rehab stint up at Canal Park. I am bamboozled by what happened today with Emmanuel Clase. Maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe I shouldn't be. And look, to be fair, I'm sure that the Cleveland Guardians are not the only team in Major League Baseball that this is going on, whether we know about it or not. I don't mean to pound on them, but, well, that's our team. Those guys are on the team. So that's the angle that we take. Okay? I know it sounds a little bit like I'm a little bit harsh. I'm coming down a little bit too hard on them. Maybe you think so. I don't think I am. But that's where we're at. That's where we're at. All right. 20 minutes till the top of the hour. News and weather with Jeff Mears coming up. On this day in sports history, about 5:26, again, Bob Nightengale, USA Today baseball writer, coming up at 5:15. Browns on the field today. First day in pads. I guess Shadur had a real nice day today. Looks like he was 9 for 9, a couple of touchdowns. Flacco had a good day today. Kenny Pickett did not play. No action because of his hamstring problem. Looked like Gabriel had some nice stats as well. Talked with Fred Greetham earlier today. He's going to be joining us on the show at some point this week. Most likely Thursday or Friday from the Orange and Brown Report. So we got that coming up as well down the road here on the show. Let's move away just for a couple of minutes here from the Emmanuel Clase. And what was going to be a big part of our show today was some of the speeches from the Baseball Hall of Fame ceremonies in Cooperstown. Obviously, sending all our flowers and all our congratulations and all our high fives to Tom Hamilton, the longtime voice of the Guardians, longtime voice of the Cleveland Indians, making it into the Hall of Fame. So what do you say? Let's go back to Cooperstown yesterday. They had to move their ceremonies back because of inclement weather, but they got everything in. But Tom Hamilton talks about going into the Hall of Fame, what it means to him, what it means to his family. Here's Hammy.
It's a passionate fan base, and it has been everything that we could have ever wanted in raising our family. Thank you, Cleveland, for being our Camelot. We also want to thank the Jacobs family and now the Dolan family and everyone that I have worked with and become friends with down through the years in this great organization. You will never work for or with better people. And at the risk of forgetting someone, I'm not going to start mentioning names, But Wendy and I thank you again and again and again. And for the Dolan family, getting a major league job is like winning the lottery. But being a part of your organization has been the gift of a lifetime. This world needs so many more people like the Dolan family.
All right, that's Tom Hamilton, longtime voice of the Cleveland Indians, Cleveland Guardians, going into the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. Shout out, congratulations to Hammy. Man, are we lucky we've got him. Also want to congratulate Dick Allen, Dave Parker. They had to be inducted posthumously over the weekend. Congratulations to them and their families. Well deserved. Former Cleveland Indian, CC Sabathia, into the Hall of Fame. Let's hear from Karsten Charles, a little bit of his speech from Cooperstown.
In January, I was sitting on our couch next to our house. I was sitting on our couch in our house when Amber's phone rang. The Hall of Fame knew to call her. I'm known not to answer a call or a text. Yeah, I have been watching the tracker for months, and things look good. But when we got the news that day, I was in shock. The room was cheering, and I was just sitting there until Jaden gave me a hug and snapped me out of the daze. The next day, we drove up to Cooperstown, me behind the wheel, Amber in the front passenger seat like always. It's been a long road from Vallejo, California, and I wouldn't have made it all this way without the women redirecting me when I got lost. Tonight, tell your grannies, your moms, your aunts, your sisters, your wives, your girlfriends, and your daughters how much you love and appreciate them.
CC Sabathia, Hall of Famer. Former Seattle Mariner. I know he made a couple of other stops, but I remember Ichiro Suzuki with a Mariner hat and a Mariner uniform. Talk about a guy that could handle the bat. Ichiro speaks at the podium.
And to the Miami Marlins, I appreciate David Sampson and Mike Hill for coming today. Honestly, when you guys called to offer me a contract for 2015, I have never heard of your team.
Ichiro, he didn't even know who the Florida Marlins were in 2015. That was funny. I mean, that was really funny. What a career he had. Ichiro, oh my gosh, how he went about his business, how he went about his daily routine. Unbelievable. And finally, Astros reliever Billy Wagner, another well-deserved inductee into the Baseball Hall of Fame. He had these thoughts at the podium at Cooperstown yesterday.
There are many to recognize today. First, I'd like to thank some teams, the Houston Astros, Drake McClain, and the organization that took a chance on a small-town lefty with a big fastball and a chip on his shoulder. Thank you for believing in me, for giving me the opportunity to compete, and for letting me grow as a player and a person. And to Jim Crane, you throw a great party, who has continued to make me and my family feel welcome whenever we are in Houston. Thank you.
There's Billy Wagner, longtime closer from the Houston Astros. So congratulations to Billy Wagner, Ichiro, CC Sabathia, Dick Allen, Dave Parker, and, of course, a real special shout-out to Tom Hamilton. What a weekend for everybody in Cooperstown, New York. And they had some crazy weather up there, too. They had to dodge some weather yesterday. They actually had to move the ceremonies back a little bit. But they got them in. Everybody got their speeches. They got their ovations. They got their bus. They got everything. And it was cool. I got to watch a little bit of it. My viewing plans were thrown off a little bit because of the weather in Cooperstown. But got to see what I wanted, and that was cool. I'm embarrassed I've never been to Cooperstown. Can you believe it? A longtime sports fan, longtime baseball fan. I grew up, baseball was my first love. I played baseball from the age of 7 till I was like, I don't know, 26, 25, 26. Always wanted to be a big league player. Didn't happen, but still love the sport. But I've never been to Cooperstown. Got to figure out a way. I know a lot of you have gone, and I've heard nothing but rave reviews about everything, about the town, about how it's just baseball, about the ceremonies, about the people, about everything about Cooperstown is what you heard about it, and it's 10 times better. It's so much more than what people tell you. Got to find a way to get up there. What is it about it? What a Cooperstown, about an 8-hour drive, I think, from here. Just haven't been able to carve out the time to go. I mean, you almost got to do a couple days, don't you? You want to be there. It's like when people come to Canton for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. If you're an out-of-towner, most of them are not just sliding in and sliding out in a day or two. It's a destination. It's the hub, and there's days and days and hours of activities and parties and get-togethers and lunches and stuff. And that's how they do it up in Cooperstown. They got the parade, they got the red carpet, they got the ceremonies. You have to do at least 2 or 3 days. You have to. And with the ceremonies being on Sunday, I have to, probably have to take off some work, and got to be honest with you, I'm not crazy about driving 8 hours anywhere. If I find a couple of people want to go, we'll go in shifts. I drove to Detroit and back over the weekend. That drove me out of my mind. And that was only like 3 hours and 20 minutes each way. Ugh. But I will get to Cooperstown. Someday I'm going to get there. All right, phone lines are open. 330-821-1310. 330-821-1310. Check us out on all of our social media platforms. 1310 WDPN on Facebook, on Instagram, on X, on the Q92 radio page, on YouTube. Check that out. Sam Bourquin Show, poll question of the day. What are your thoughts? What is your opinion on legalized sports betting? What do you think about legalized sports gambling? Let us know in the comments section, or you can give us a ring at 330-821-1310. We'll take a break. We'll come back. It's the Sam Bourquin Show, live on AM 1310 WDPN. Stay with us.
Hello, my name is Ariana Aldridge. I'm Carnation Queen contestant number 6 in the Carnation Queen pageant. I am proud to be sponsored by the Hidden Abbey. I invite everyone to enjoy the Carnation Days at Beach Creek Gardens, which will be open to the public on Thursday, August 7th through Saturday, August 9th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. This experience is a wonderful family adventure.
Standing at the edge of a rocky shore, you breathe in the cool, salty air, watching the sun disappear on the horizon. Across the globe, someone begins their day along a sandy beach, listening to the rhythm of the crashing waves. You each envision a world beneath the water, vibrant life in every imaginable form. Now, imagine it's all gone. What was once a place of wonder and beauty is now a dull, lifeless wasteland. Food, jobs, medicine, all gifts from the ocean, all gone. Time is running out to protect our oceans, and without our love, everything the oceans provide can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our oceans. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
Nathan has taught me to embrace the moment. Age-wise, I'm in my late 60s. I'm old enough to be his grandfather. Will he be embarrassed to acknowledge me as his dad? I think the most important thing we can do is let them know that they're safe, that they're valued and cared for and loved, and that they're important.
I knew I wanted to be adopted by him because
of how he taught me to be the person who I am today. And it's coming from a dad that didn't expect to become a dad. And I feel very proud to be his son.
That was what he needed, and he was what I needed. Every day is full of new opportunities. That's what it's been about, realizing the simple things that it takes to make such a huge difference in these kids' lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
1310 WDPN, the Sam Bourquin Show. Welcome back. 330-821-1310. What is going on with the Cleveland Guardians? What is going on, Luis Ortiz? What are you doing, Emmanuel Clase? Good grief. Guardians and Rockies, game one of a three-game set at Progressive Field tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday. Cleveland still 8 out behind Detroit in the division. They are 3.5 games out of the last wild card in the American League. Don't forget Bob Nightengale, USA Today baseball writer, and a good one. He'll be joining us at 5:15 today. You don't want to miss that. Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. What is your opinion on legalized sports gambling, legalized sports betting? 53% say it's only going to get worse. 33% say cause for concern. 13% say no worries, it's legal. 1% say, blame it on the sports leagues. You can check out the poll quiz at AM1310 WDPN on X. Go check that out. Facebook, we just asked you the random question. We didn't make it a poll. I just asked you what your thoughts were on legalized sports gambling, on sports betting. What are your thoughts? Good, bad, love it, hate it. Guys are abusing it. Guys can't handle it. It's ruining the game. It's ruining sports. It's ruining lives. People need to get over themselves. What do you think? Legalized. Did I stress legalized sports betting, legalized sports betting, sports gambling? I mean, it's kind of all under the same umbrella, but it's just different.
You know, it's funny. This made me think of Back to the Future 2 today, because when Biff ruins the future, he one of the things he does is legalize gambling, and that's one of the things that ruins Hill Valley.
Right. Exactly.
So, you know, hey, everybody's a Back to the Future fan. Just look at that.
You know, whether you're betting on a game, you're betting on the outcome of a pitch, a play, a prop bet, a point spread, a total. It's sports betting. It's sports gambling. It's one and the same. I mean, it's not like, you know, hitting the button on a slot machine or throwing dice or, you know, hitting the roulette wheel. But once you get the legalized sports aspect a part of it, then everything's open for business. Speaking of a little bit of a gambling branch off of the tree, see this story? Former Cavs player arrested in Florida for a warrant out of Las Vegas. That came on Sunday. According to reports, Marcus Morris faces a fraud charge for insufficient funds, according to court records in Vegas. Morris, former first-round pick in 2011, he played for the Cavs in March of 2024. Didn't really do anything. But there's a warrant out. And it looks like it has to do with a marker. He owes the casino. It's like running out on a check at dinner. You have markers, they're called, and they can be, a couple of bucks up to millions. And apparently he stepped out on one, and they're trying to get a hold of him and get him to pay up. So it's not just the Guardians; it's also former Cavaliers now that are getting in on the act. Unbelievable! What a wild day this has been. And you play 162 games. You play, I don't know, 30, 32 preseason games. Florida, Arizona. Guys come into camp usually now maybe a week or two before. Some guys come into camp a month before. They just want to get there. They want to, get back in shape again, start getting that good sweat in, doing what they need to do to get where they want to go. And then you start the grind of the season. You have your ups and downs, your ebbs and flows, you're good, you're bad. Win a series, lose a series, 10-game win streak, 10-game losing streak. Guys get hurt, guys come back. Moves are made, moves are not made. Other teams face a little trouble. They face a little adversity. Schedule works out for you. Schedule doesn't work out for you. You get rained out. Then you go 12 days without a break. All this is part of that Major League Baseball marathon that we always talk about. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So here we are, 105 games into 162. And yeah, the Luis Ortiz thing kind of threw a little curveball into the mix. He was a starting pitcher. He was in the rotation. Now, he wasn't Cy Young. He wasn't Sandy Koufax. He was okay. He 8 innings. Okay, so we moved on. We moved past that. Got our sights set on Detroit. We got our sights set on the World Wild Card. Things are kind of coming together a little bit. We might get Biebs. Shane Bieber, by the way, going to have a rehab start in Akron with the Rubber Ducks. Okay, tomorrow night. So you kind of, it gets a little bit more clear. Then the front office starts thinking about, okay, plan A, plan B, C, D, E. And then Emmanuel Clase. Then you get a little note from our good friends at MLB. We're investigating your closer for alleged gambling activity. Some corruption. And now you got to look at this sprint for the rest of the way, and now you got to maybe change the way you want to do some things. And you got to do it on the fly, and you got to do it right, or you're not going to get where you want to go. Tough times. We'll see how they come out of it. News, weather, coming up next, right here. AM 1310 WDPN. It's the Sam Bourquin Show. Stay with us.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. Attorneys for Ghislaine Maxwell asked the U.S. Supreme Court to overturn her conviction. The longtime companion of Jeffrey Epstein says a deal Epstein reached with prosecutors nearly 2 decades ago should shield her as well. ABC's Jay O'Brien explains the deal was not limited to Epstein.
But it also names alleged co-conspirators, both named and unnamed in this non-prosecution agreement. So what Ghislaine Maxwell says is, okay, that non-prosecution agreement that the government reached with Epstein in 2007 also applies to me.
President Trump's in Scotland. He met with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer. He also discussed efforts to get more food into Gaza. The man accused of injuring 11 people in a Saturday stabbing attack at a Walmart in Traverse City, Michigan, pleaded not guilty to all charges, including terrorism. And 2 children were killed. There were 5 aboard a sailboat at a sailing camp in Miami when it struck a barge. This is ABC News.
Your summer might be winding down, but there's still plenty of warm weather on the way. And at Macy's, it's the perfect time to shop late summer deals like cotton dresses from Karl Lagerfeld and more that you can wear now and layer up later for $150 and under. Plus, new Levi's are here, like trending cinched waist jeans for 30% off. So come into Macy's and walk out with late summer deals too good to miss. Starting Wednesday at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:02. A Canton woman appears in court to answer to charges resulting from an Alliance shooting. 26-year-old Kenichia Miller was arraigned today in Alliance Municipal Court. Bond was set at $250,000. A preliminary hearing is set for August 4th. On the morning of July 21st, she was in a car when she allegedly shot at a woman at North Freedom Avenue and 2nd Street. Miller is also accused of earlier telling the victim's daughter she would kill her mother. Miller was arrested Friday on warrants charging her with attempted murder, discharge of a firearm on or near a prohibited premises, improperly handling firearms in a motor vehicle, and attempted felonious assault. The 2025 Greater Alliance Carnation Festival Queen was crowned Saturday night. Brooke Figenshoe was the winner in a field of 18. Her court includes first attendant Haley Morris, second attendant Avery Horning, third attendant Carlasia West Cole, and Miss Congeniality Sophia Thomas. She was crowned by 2024 Queen O'Neill Everett. The Carnation Festival begins Thursday and runs through August 10th. The Hall of Fame city is visited by Vice President J.D. Vance. He spoke at the Metallus plant this morning, talking about the tax cut and spending bill passed by Congress earlier this month. Vance cited the measure's benefits for American families and businesses. His speech in Canton marks his second trip this month to sell the package Republicans have referred to as the One Big Beautiful Bill. The Highway Patrol is investigating a fatal crash in Jackson Township. It took place just before 1:30 Saturday afternoon on Frank Avenue Northwest. A motorcycle driven by 58-year-old Larry Jeffries of North Canton was southbound when another vehicle driven by 24-year-old Luca Stambaugh attempted a left turn from the far right lane at Mega Street. Jeffries was pronounced dead at Mercy Hospital. He was not wearing a helmet. No one else was hurt. Kentucky State Police are investigating a collision that took the life of a Massillon woman. It happened Sunday afternoon in Christian County in the western part of the state. Police say 32-year-old Kristen Bowling was northbound on I-169 when she pulled over to secure luggage on the roof of her car. A second car went off the roadway and struck her vehicle. Bowling was pronounced dead at the scene. A male passenger in her car was taken to a hospital for treatment. His condition was not available. It's not clear why the second vehicle veered off the interstate. It was driven by a 62-year-old Madisonville, Kentucky man. The Portage County Sheriff's Office is warning area residents of another scam. Victims are falsely told their computers have been infected with a virus. They are then given what they are told is a phone number to their bank's fraud department and asked to withdraw funds to invest directly in Bitcoin to resolve the issue. The Sheriff's Office says 2 people targeted by the scam have lost a total of $25,400. Anyone who receives such a call is asked to call the Sheriff's Office or state and federal authorities. A man from Nagley faces charges after a gun was found at a security checkpoint at Pittsburgh International Airport. According to Allegheny County Police, TSA officers discovered a handgun in 47-year-old Justin Staley's luggage around 8 a.m. Sunday. He does not have a concealed carry permit. Stanley was charged with carrying a firearm without a license. He was arraigned Sunday and booked at the Allegheny County Jail on $3,000 bond. A preliminary hearing is scheduled for August 4th. A body was found on the south side of Youngstown Sunday morning. WFMJ-TV reports police were called after residents of East Myrtle Avenue noticed a foul odor. The body was found in a vacant lot between Erie Street and Lois Court around 11:30. An autopsy will be performed to determine the identity and cause of death. Youngstown police are investigating after an overnight shooting on the city's south side. A man was brought to a hospital with leg and hip wounds. Detectives determined the shooting occurred along Ravenwood Avenue, but additional details were not available. The victim is listed in stable condition. A federal indictment charges two men with possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance. 21-year-old Jonathan Streb and 22-year-old Javon Thomas are in the Mahoning County Jail. A secret indictment was issued July 9th and unsealed Friday. It says on December 9th, 2022, the men had cocaine, fentanyl, and methamphetamine. Thomas also had a semi-automatic rifle. The government looks to seize the gun, 48 rounds of ammunition, and just over $4,000 in cash. A man who pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor count of assault learns his punishment. 45-year-old Nicholas Machar of Struthers was sentenced to 180 days in jail with 150 suspended. Camel police were called to Trumbull Avenue on 14th Street June 22nd for a report of a woman hit by a vehicle. She told officers she and Machar had argued. He accelerated when she attempted to get out of the vehicle, dragging her a short distance. A tire ran over her foot, causing minor injuries. Machar was also given 12 months of probation. An electric bus acquired by the city of Youngstown is sitting unused. The bus was a condition of a $10.8 million grant used as part of $28 million in improvements to downtown streets. The Vindicator reports the vehicle's price tag was $696,000. The bus is now parked at the WRTA garage on Mahoning Avenue. The 10-passenger bus drove a route of 0.6 of a mile on Federal Street from mid-February until it was parked at the end of June. State law requires the autonomous bus to have a driver. The Illinois-based manufacturer paid for a driver through the end of June, but the cost must now be picked up by the city. The driver must also get out to open the main door on the other side of the bus, as it doesn't have automatic doors. A Warren man is charged after two dead dogs were found last month. One count of prohibitions concerning companion animals was filed against 24-year-old Wilson Adams in Warren Municipal Court. 3 abandoned dogs were discovered on Front Street June 27th. 2 were dead and locked in cages. The third canine was found next to them and taken to a veterinarian for treatment. An investigation is underway after a teenager was shot Saturday night at the Summit County Fairgrounds. The shooting happened in the parking lot around 11:15 after the fair had closed for the day. A news release from police said a man fired multiple rounds into an occupied vehicle. A 17-year-old male was hit by one of the bullets and hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. The shooting is under investigation. A former Columbus police officer has been sentenced to 15 years to life for the murder of Andre Hill, a black man shot while holding a cell phone and keys. Adam Coy shot Hill 4 times in December 2020, claiming he feared Hill had a revolver. Coy was sentenced today. He says he plans to appeal the verdict and that he believed his actions were justified. Prosecutors argued Hill was not a threat. Hill's family described him as a gentle man. The city of Columbus later settled with Hill's family for $10 million and enacted a policy requiring police to provide immediate medical aid to injured suspects. Cincinnati police are investigating a fight that broke out in downtown early Saturday that appeared to have left at least 2 people injured. Online videos of the attack at the intersection of West 4th and Elm Street show a graphic assault of a man by a group in the middle of the street. In the footage, a man is repeatedly hit and kicked in the head. The group then continues to assault him while he is on the ground. Later on, a woman can be seen sneaking up from behind and grabbing at another woman who was seen checking on the fallen man, while a separate man in the crowd punches her. After a moment, it becomes apparent that the woman is unconscious. The video ends as bystanders attempt to move the woman out of the street. The video does not show any of the events that led up to the fight, although police say that it started with a verbal altercation between some of the individuals seen in the video. Taking a look at Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed today at 44,837, down 64 points. The Nasdaq Composite ended the day 70 points higher at 21,178, and the S&P 500 closed at 6,389, up 1 point. It's 89 degrees in Alliance at 5:09. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Forecast for this afternoon calling for sunshine and a high near 91 degrees. Very humid with heat index values as high as 96. Overnight, partly cloudy. Some late patchy fog, a low around 70. Patchy fog early on Tuesday, otherwise mostly sunny. Again, warm, very humid, 92, with heat index values as high as 99. For Wednesday, chance of showers and thunderstorms, a high of 89, chance of rain 50%. That's your WDPN weather.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Perkins, center field. That'll get it done. Scored as a hit. In comes Haas, and the Brewers walk off the Marlins.
Mustaches today.
This into left field, continues the parade, and it gets away from Snyder. Just keep running, boys. Let it all out. Ball takes it away, throw back to first, and now we have trouble. Eco racing back, now the runner heads home. Here's the throw, it's high, and now Ian Hemp is in a pickle. Here's chaos. Ball hits Ian Hemp. There's a collision, and Hemp is ruled that he's going to score. It's interference, and it's 5-1 Cubs. Oh, baby. How about that?
Here they come off of turn 4. The Brickyard belongs to Bubba. Wallace wins it Indy, and he's going to the playoffs.
All right, wild weekend, baseball, auto racing, PGA, golf, Hall of Fame ceremonies in Cooperstown. Lots of stuff going on, but boy, did our show prep just get derailed because of what happened a couple of hours ago. If you just missed it, if you're just tuning in for the first time today, Major League Baseball investigation underway with Guardians closer Emmanuel Clase. Paid administrative leave through August the 31st. Don't have him. Can't trade him. Can't use him. He's on the list, and he'll sit right next to Luis Ortiz for the time being. Welcome into the Sam Bourquin Show, everybody. Big hour 3 here on AM 1310 WDPN. By the way, Shane Bieber is going to make a rehab start at Canal Park in Akron tomorrow night with the Rubber Ducks, so kind of keep that in mind. We're going to be catching up with outstanding baseball writer, USA Today, Bob Nightengale, coming up here in just a few minutes. We'll get into what's going on with the Guardians, the Major League Baseball trade deadline, Central Division, all kind of good stuff coming up here in just a few minutes. After that, we'll have our On This Day in Sports History. Of course, we have the Sam Bourquin Show question of the day. And today's question is, what's your thoughts? What's your opinion on legalized sports gambling? What is your thoughts? What are your thoughts on legalized sports wagering, gambling, betting? What do you think? Tell me what you feel. 330-821-1310. Drop a comment on all of our social media platforms, 1310 WDPN on X, on Facebook, Instagram, and, of course, the Q92 radio page on YouTube. Right now, 47% say that's only going to get worse. 28% say cause for concern. 23%, don't worry about it. It's legal. 2% say blame it on the sports leagues. But now the big question here is now, if you're the Guardians, what do you do? You don't have your closer. By the way, Cade Smith has been called up from Buffalo. AAA Columbus. And, of course, Clase has been put on the list. August 21st. Basically, you don't have Clase and you don't have Ortiz. You probably don't. You probably won't have them the rest of the year. I'm not. That is not a guarantee. That is not a lock. But you're basically looking at flipping the calendar over to September the 1st, and then you'll see what you got from there. And by then, I mean, you could be, who knows? You could be 12 out of first place by then. You could be 3 games out. I don't know. You could be a half game out of the last wild card spot. You could be 10 games out of the wild card spot. All right, I just got a text here from Bob Nightengale. Bob is there. He missed the call. Go ahead and redial him. And there he is. Boom. Boy, I love that. There we go. We'll send him a little thumbs up, and we are ready to make connection. So, I mean, what do the Guardians do now? What if you're Chernoff? What if you're Antonetti? What do you do? And if they had wind of this maybe 24 hours prior, I don't know. But, man, they got to make some quick decisions on the fly. All right, let's get to them. One of the great baseball writers, USA Today, Bob Nightengale, joining us here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Bob, good afternoon. How we doing?
Yeah, doing good, thanks.
Good, man. Thanks for coming on here today. You know, when I reached out to you earlier today, obviously I had no idea about what was going to go down with Emmanuel Clase, but just kind of worked out for us anyway to have you on and to explore what the Guardians now are dealing with. And we'll get to the Hall of Fame inductions and we'll get to the deadline and some other things before we let you go. But gosh, I mean, Luis Ortiz under investigation. Now it's Emmanuel Clase under investigation by MLB. If you're the Guardians, Bob, what are you doing now? What are you going to do?
Well, I mean, huge loss. I mean, obviously, they were trying to get back in the race, everything else, especially with the Detroit Tigers struggles. And now it's like, two body blows, particularly Class A,
Mm-hmm.
one of the best relievers in baseball. And, of all the names tied with, gambling investigations, he might be the biggest since Pete Rose.
That is amazing. And I'm starting to wonder now as we went on the air at 3:00 today, with this whole MLB investigation, I don't know who everybody's talking to, who's filling out the questionnaires, who's being interviewed on camera. I'm not privy to all that stuff, but I'm thinking, could this be a situation where maybe Luis Ortiz maybe was asked some things and he maybe rolled on Clase and now they're coming after him? Was it the other way around? Or those two, could they be joined at the hip as far as this? We don't know. There's so many unanswered questions, but I just have to wonder now, is this going to get a whole lot worse throughout MLB before it gets a whole lot better with this, with the situation with the gambling and the betting and the legalization of it? And guys are still, Bob, they're still making some very questionable decisions.
No, they are. But yeah, you got to, I mean, certainly his name came up during the investigation, or else they would have, said we're going to investigate both originally on July 3rd, and they didn't. So obviously someone mentioned his name, and, it makes sense that it was Ortiz that said that. So, yeah, I mean, and they're two very, very close friends, if not best of friends. So, yeah, no, it's a shame. I mean, I think baseball has opened itself up to, Pandora's box by, legalizing gambling and talking about, they have all these sponsorships. You can't watch a game now without people talking about the gambling odds. So they're asking for big time trouble, and who knows what's going on. I mean, you got all kinds of people involved, like, clubhouse attendants, trainers, bat boys that know who's going to start in lineup, who isn't, that sort of thing. So they've been asking for a lot of trouble, and we've already lost one umpire for life, with Pat Holberg, who was as good as any umpire behind the plate, and now you're talking about one of the premier closers of baseball.
Bob Nightengale is our guest, outstanding baseball reporter for USA Today, joining us here on 1310 WDP. We only got Bob for about 5 more minutes, so we're gonna go rapid fire here. So if you're the Guardians now, you're 52-53. You lost a little bit of an opportunity for some momentum. You dropped 2 out of 3 in Kansas City. Now the Rockies are coming in. It's a series you almost have to sweep. I forget who coined it. You got to, split with the good guys. You got to beat the bums. They really should sweep Colorado here. The wild card is still in play. Bob, I was in Detroit Friday night watching the Blue Jays and the Tigers, and gosh, they lost 3 out of 4 to Toronto. They're in a little bit of a skid. I don't think Cleveland can catch them. But as far as the wild card is concerned, and now the situation now, Chris Antonetti, they got to figure out. They brought Cade Smith up today. They brought another closer up today from Columbus. So they're going to go with those guys in the pen. As far as other pitching, and Shane Bieber's going to get a start in Akron tomorrow night for rehab. So they got him maybe in about 2 or 3 weeks. But if you're looking to add, is it a stick first, or now do you have to look at maybe bringing an arm in?
Well, you probably have to look at an arm for sure. Certainly, what they're going to do with the trade deadline is they're going to trade Smith and they're going to trade Class A. Now those plans are over. It's a massive setback, particularly for the season. You can go get some relievers and stuff in the off season, but with all these big time contenders looking for the top relievers in the game, I can't see Cleveland dipping that market. So I don't think they can do anything realistically to compensate for this kind of loss.
If you could climb inside the under the head of Stephen Vogt, maybe what's going through his mind right now?
Just like, hey, what's happening here? I'm sure they had another lecture to the players, like, what are you guys doing here? You realize the ramifications. I mean, there's two guys, particularly I say, might throw their entire career away. And you can say, pretend like it's an injury that we can overcome it. Yeah, but it's late in the game now. We only have 3 days for the trade deadline. Considering Cleveland's still under 500, it's hard to say, oh, we're going to be really aggressive here, knowing that they're still getting the long shot to make the playoffs.
Bob Nightengale is our guest. A couple more quick ones, and we'll let you go, Bob, and we really appreciate your time. As far as the trade deadline, Major League Baseball-wise, who do you think makes the biggest splash, if anybody?
Well, I think the AL East. I still think the Yankees making their big splash. They already got McMahon from Colorado. I think again they're a starter, another reliever. I think the Toronto Blue Jays, they got everybody excited now. They've got to go get a reliever and a starter. Just because it's going to be a massive disappointment if they didn't make the playoffs or if they go out early. I think Seattle, you can't waste that pitching staff once again. I think they have no choice but, hey, go for this thing, because with that pitching, you can do anything. So I think those teams jump out. I think the Cubs have to do something to make sure that that they finish ahead of the Brewers at least and get the division title for a better seed. So yeah, those teams are probably the most aggressive, I think.
Bob, one before we let you go, Cooperstown over the weekend, the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. We're very happy, very proud of Tom Hamilton, who went in with the Ford C. Frick Broadcasters Award. Of course, the great class of CC and Billy Wagner, Ichiro, and of course, posthumously going in Dave Parker and Dick Allen. I know they had to dodge some weather yesterday, but what was it like in Cooperstown?
No, great experience. I mean, I think probably more people came to see CC than anybody. But in Tom Hamilton's, he did an unbelievable speech. That's one of the best speeches I've ever heard. And but yeah, he had a great audience and support system in the auditorium there. Everybody's got screaming his name and chanting. He looked embarrassed by it. It was cool to see, how many Cleveland fans, there were just to support Hamilton and of course Sabathia. It was a great, great weekend for Guardians baseball. Then it was fun too to see and Mark Shapiro shows up, besides Chris Antonetti, Mike Hargrove shows up, and Jim Thome talks. So yeah, it was a big weekend for Cleveland baseball.
Pretty cool. All right, Bob, I promised you we'd be out of here by 5:24. I've somehow miraculously kept my promise. Thank you for coming on. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll catch up with you soon down the road. I always appreciate it.
All right, look forward to it. Thank you.
There he goes. Bob Nightengale, USA Today baseball writer, joining us here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. We got about a minute or two before we go with our On This Day in Sports History. So we'll go ahead. We'll just keep it here, and then we'll roll right into that. But yeah, the this weekend at Cooperstown, and look, all the speeches were terrific, all of them. But I might be a little biased here, but Tom Hamilton's speech was beautiful. It was everything that a speech should be. It was very humbling for him. He was very thankful to all of his family and friends and support in the Indians / Guardians and people in baseball. It was heartfelt. There was some humor. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was really, really good. And I thought Ichiro was very funny, did a great job. Billy Wagner had some great lines. CC Sabathia. I'm telling you what, Cleveland was well represented in Cooperstown this weekend with CC going in and Hammy going into the Baseball Hall of Fame. I don't know if you get a chance to watch it. Again, when I set my DVR, I wasn't banking on a weather delay of over 90 minutes. So I missed some of the stuff that I wanted to see. But the stuff that I did see and the speeches that I listened to last night or early this morning, I thought were really on point, really good, a great class, and got to get to Cooperstown someday. Just got to find a way. Of course, we're going to be celebrating football here in our region, the Hall of Fame city, the Hall of Fame region. People slowly but surely will be trickling into our great state, our great city, our great county, and a lot of cool stuff going on here. Especially beginning Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all the stuff that's going on. The weather's going to be fantastic, and we want to welcome everybody who's coming in from out of town and enjoy your stay here, okay? It'll be fun, I promise you. All right, on this day in sports history, very short list today, very short list. On this day in 2002, Lance Armstrong won his 4th straight Tour de France. Audio time, it's 1991. El Presidente, Dennis Martinez, then of the Montreal Expos, all he did was pitch the 13th perfect game in Major League Baseball history.
In the bottom of the ninth, 26 in a row have been retired by Dennis Martinez. One and two pitch. In the air. Center field. Grissom. El Presidente. El Perfecto.
Dennis Martinez, perfect on this day in 1991. How about this? Let's fast forward 3 years later. 1994. Kenny Rogers of the Texas Rangers. He pitched the 14th perfect game in Major League Baseball history.
DeSarcina has never had a hit off Rogers, hitless in 16 at-bats. Tonight he is grounded out twice. The crowd on its feet here in Arlington. 2 outs in the ninth. A fly to center field. Greer there. He's got it. A perfect game. Oh, baby. Kenny Rogers pitches the 11th perfect game in Major League history, and he is mobbed by his teammates here at the ballpark in Arlington. History made July 28, 1994. Kenny Rogers, a true...
And there it is, a perfect game on this day in 1994 by the Rangers left-hander Kenny Rogers. That'll wrap up another edition of On This Day in Sports History. We will take a break at the bottom of the hour. We'll get you the news. We'll get you the weather. We got one more big hour to go. Stay with us. It's the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Here's the latest news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:30. A bipartisan call in Congress for the Trump administration to release the case files related to the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Republican Thomas Massie of Kentucky and Democrat Ro Khanna of California are pushing for legislation that would make the records public while protecting the identity of the victims. This comes after Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche met with Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's associate, who is now serving a 2-decade sentence for sex trafficking. ABC's Jay O'Brien says that Maxwell now is appealing to the U.S. Supreme Court for clemency.
This is Ghislaine Maxwell and her attorneys going to the U.S. Supreme Court to essentially say that her conviction should be tossed out because she was covered, they argue, under a 2007 non-prosecution agreement that Jeffrey Epstein reached with the U.S. government and specifically the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Florida.
Under that agreement, Epstein pleaded guilty to state charges and registered as a sex offender, while he and his co-conspirators would avert federal charges. Epstein died in jail awaiting his sex trafficking trial in 2019. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says no one in Gaza is starving. President Trump disagrees and notes the images emerging of emaciated people. Trump says those children look very hungry. Here's what we know as the World Health Organization says 63 of the 74 malnutrition-related deaths in Gaza this year have occurred this month. Those included 24 children under the age of 5. After international pressure, Israel over the weekend announced humanitarian pauses, airdrops, and other measures meant to allow more aid to Palestinians in Gaza. But people there there say little or nothing has changed on the ground. Details are emerging in the hours leading up to Saturday's random stabbing attack at a Michigan Walmart that left 11 people injured. Here's ABC's Rena Roy.
This is not his first run-in with the law. Police had been searching for 42-year-old Bradford James Gilly actually the day before this attack. They say that they were actively looking for him to take him into custody, but they couldn't find him because he's homeless, and it's unclear what exactly that was about.
A tragic day at a sailing summer camp in South Florida today. A sailboat carrying a camp counselor and 5 children was struck by a barge late this morning in the waters off Miami Beach. Rescuers from Miami-Dade County rushed into Biscayne Bay and were able to retrieve all 6, taking them to the hospital. Lieutenant Pete Sanchez is with the City of Miami Fire Rescue.
This was a multi-agency response. What we found was some type of vessel accident that had 5 children and 1 adult on that vessel, and they were all apparently thrown off, which is also part of the investigation.
2 of the 6 rescued did not survive. 3 remain in critical condition. Another is said to be stable. It's 88 degrees in Alliance at 5:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
In the forecast for this afternoon, sunny skies, a high near 91, continued very humid with heat index values as high as 96. Tonight, partly cloudy, patchy fog late, a low around 70. Patchy fog early on Tuesday, otherwise mostly sunny, continued warm and humid, high temperature 92 with heat index values as high as 99. Showers and thunderstorms possible on Wednesday, a high of 89, chance of rain 50%. That's your WDPN weather.
Are you ready to up your mealtime game with a beautiful new dining suit? How about your movie nights on the couch? Is more comfortable seating on your list this year? Maybe you just need a better night's rest. Whatever the case, when we spend time at home with our families, we all want quality, comfort, and names we can trust. That's why Grove's appliances, furniture sets, and even their mattresses make all the difference. With a beautiful showroom full of ideas and over 700 fabric choices for furniture, you'll be sure to find something that will fit beautifully into your home. On a budget, Grove has a scratch and dent room filled with appliances with minor aesthetic blemishes that can help you replace that fridge on the fritz for a fraction of the cost. Come and see why Grove is better than big box stores. Explore your options and get to know Grove's amazing staff and stellar service team to help with all of your needs.
Come see us at Grove, where it always feels like home.
Hello, my name is Ariana Aldridge, and I'm contestant number 6 in this year's Carnation Queen pageant. I am pleased to be sponsored by the Hidden Abbey. During this year's Carnation Festival, why not take the family and visit Alliance's historical sites? Reminisce on the life during the early days of Alliance. The Haynes House and the Mabel Hartzell home are marvelous historical sites. Check the festival brochure or at carnationfestival.com for the dates and times. Hope to see you there.
All right, welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDP. I want to thank USA Today baseball writer Bob Nightengale for joining us for a couple of minutes. If you missed that interview, it'll be up on our social media platforms a little bit after the show today, so you can scroll through and find that on Facebook and X and YouTube and all those good places. Before we get back into the Emmanuel Clase situation, we'll hear from Chris Antonetti. A little bit of stuff going on this day as far as the music history is concerned. On this day in 1979, I know a lot of you remember this. The World Series of Rock was held at Cleveland Stadium with Journey, Ted Nugent, and Thin Lizzy. 1979, the World Series of Rock at Cleveland Municipal Stadium. I'll bet that was just full of marijuana that night. On this day in 1987, the Beatles sued Nike and Capitol Records over the use of their song Revolution in shoe commercials. I remember that. That was a big stink. On this day in 1995, Michael Jackson's video You Are Not Alone was premiered. Let's see here. On this day in 1998, Mary J. Blige's first album, What's the 411, was released. Let's go back to 95. Jimi Hendrix's father, James Al Hendrix, won back the rights to his son's name, likeness, image, and music after a number of companies had profited from them over the years. A little NIL deal there. Huh? On this day in 2000, I don't remember, right? I do remember this. A U.S. federal appeals court granted a last-minute stay of an injunction that ordered Napster to shut down. The order to stop operations came actually on July 26th, 2000. And on this day in 2011, or 2001, I should say, the Eagles played their first concert at the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. And one thing for TV, 2000, Kathy Lee Gifford made her final appearance as co-host of the ABC talk show Live with Regis and Kathy Lee. 25 years ago. Man, where is the time going? All right. We know that there's a lot coming up here with the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Festival, the enshrinement, the fashion show, the grand parade, the game, the concert, all the cool things. Fan Fest. Don't forget, we're going to be doing our show live from the Hall of Fame this Friday, 3 p.m. right here on AM 1310 WDPN. Looking forward to seeing you there. Also, at the end of this show, and I'll give you one more reminder as we're closing out. If you're looking for the best seat in town to watch the Carnation Grand Parade, WDPN and Citizens on West State Street have you covered. At the end of the show, we'll have you call in your chance to win 2 reserved seats in our exclusive VIP bleacher seating. Okay? A winner and a guest will experience all the sights and sounds and celebration from the best seats on the parade route. All right, that is for the Carnation Grand Parade. End of the show today, we'll give you a chance to call in and win 2 VIP tickets. The best seat in town, courtesy of your friends at Citizens and AM 1310 WDPN. All right, back to business. Back to the news of the day. Emmanuel Clase, under investigation by Major League Baseball, alleged gambling activities. He is on the list with Luis Ortiz through August the 31st. You don't have Emmanuel Clase. You can't bring him out of the bullpen. You can't use him as a trade chip. He's just sitting there. Again, innocent until proven guilty. Seems to be a lot here. And was Clase and Luis Ortiz, were they in cahoots with each other? Or with the investigation of Ortiz, did Luis Ortiz roll on Emmanuel Clase? And now that's why he's in trouble. That's why he's being investigated. That's why they're going back and looking at old videos of old pitches, older games, looking for things, matching them up with the numbers on the betting apps to see if there should be a red flag or two. Don't exactly know the situation there, but I have to believe that there's a relation there, that those will correlate with each other, Ortiz and Clase. Not very smart. Actually, it's pretty damn stupid. You know. Let me take you back here behind the curtain. At all of the Major League Baseball spring training sites, there are little, I want to call symposiums, seminars. They are told, they are given literature, they are shown videos, what you cannot do as a Major League Baseball player. Gambling, sports betting is right there front and center. Can't be associated with it. You can't be trying to fix pitches, fix games, rig situations, help out a buddy with a prop bet. It's a no-no. It's a big, fat no-no. And you're told as soon as you walk in. When you walk into the clubhouses in Arizona, in Florida, at the Major League Baseball stadiums, there are signs on the door. There are signs in the hallway. No sports betting. No sports gambling. You cannot do it. You will get in trouble. You will be prosecuted. It's not like these guys don't know. They knew. They just decided to say, screw it. I'm going to do it anyway. And whether they're in cahoots with some buddies to help them make a little extra money on the side, whether they're in a pinch with somebody or some book or a bank or cousin Roughhouser down the street, I don't know. But they're trying to find a way to pay off their debt. That could be another thing. It could be as simple as people betting on them to throw a ball on the first pitch and everybody gets a little piece. And that's what they were doing. It could be a whole lot bigger than that. I don't know. I'm just throwing out a couple of scenarios, which I believe could be a real big part of this ongoing investigation by MLB with Clase and with Luis Ortiz. It could be completely financially, it could be a financial situation with both. I know Luis Ortiz and Emmanuel Clase are very well paid. They're very well paid. But maybe that's not enough for them. Maybe they think they should be getting a lot more. They're looking around saying, hey, look what this guy's getting. Look what that guy's getting. Look what that organization does. Look what he's making. I'm better than that guy. I should be getting that. I'm sick of waiting for my next contract. I need a lot of money right away. I'm in trouble. I got to fix something. I got to do. Hey, I don't know what's going on there. But I do know this. Sometimes millionaires feel that they need to go over the line to remedy a situation that they or somebody is involved in. That's where we get to where we are. Now, look, I don't know what Luis Ortiz makes offhand. He's just a guy. I think Emmanuel Clase is somewhere in the neighborhood of between, 6.5 and 8 a year? Maybe. But sometimes, folks, those millions aren't enough. Somehow, some way, they get into situations where those millions are not enough. And again, I don't know what all is entailed here with this investigation. I don't know what the questions are. I don't know who's being leaned on. I don't know who's being asked to snitch. I don't know all that stuff. But it's happening. It's going on right now. And we'll find out. Details will come out down the road. But I know this. The Cleveland Guardians trying to push for a wild card. Maybe this pie in the sky of catching the Tigers. Well, that just took a big, fat blow today. That just took a big blow, a big punch to the gut, because now you don't have your guy. You don't have Clase to come out of the bullpen now. And again, if he was throwing stuff, if he was rigging things, fixing props, games, then guess what? I don't want him out there anyway. I don't want him out there anyway. You're screwing me over. I don't want you out there. Get out of here. But I don't know. The investigation will tell us everything we need to know. And I don't know when that's going to be up. I don't know when it's going to be over. I don't know if we'll get little bits and pieces here along the way, or if it'll just be, one big bombshell. News on Ortiz and Class A. Pew, here it is. Here's what happened. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to come to be. But I know I'll be waiting for it. I feel bad for Stephen Vogt. I feel bad for Chris Antonetti. Chernoff. I do. I know sometimes we bash people a little bit. It's all part of the gig. We bash the Dolans. We bash the front office. We bash the philosophy. We bash the decisions they've made on and off the field. That's all part of it. But on a day like today, I'm a very empathetic soul. I feel bad. They got put in a ringer. You're trying to get to the playoffs. You're trying to make decisions to better your team now and to better your team moving forward. You got guys taking rehab stints like Bieber with Akron tomorrow night. You got some other guys trying to come off the injury report. You're thinking about maybe making a move, making a trade, selling a couple of pieces off, acquiring some pieces down the road, building for the future. And now this, just a 95-mile-an-hour fastball right to the you-know-where. And guess what? You can't sit around and say, woe is us. You can't say, woe is me. You got to make moves. You got to make decisions. You got to turn that lineup card in tonight. You got to make sure you're ready to go Tuesday, Wednesday. You got to be ready for the trade deadline. You got to make sure everything is in a row. All your ducks are in place. It's tough when you get news like this. This is why they get paid the big bucks. This is why. There are no 9 to 5 days. There is no wake up and just check off the list out 1 hour after a time. It's not how it works. It's not how it works. So I do feel bad for Antonetti and Stephen Vogt. I feel bad for some of the players. I don't know that they knew if anything was going on here. I bet you their eyes were open when the Luis Ortiz situation came up. And some time goes by. Pretty soon, what? We didn't even say the word Luis Ortiz. Out of sight, out of mind, man. Not talking about him, not thinking about him, not here. Forget about him. So what? We forgot about him. Even though the investigation is ongoing, we forgot about him. We made ourselves move on. And we're okay. All right, let's focus in on what we need to focus in on. And then today, boom, a left and a right. And now you gotta stand, you gotta stagger a little bit, and you gotta figure out what you're gonna do. In the battle, you don't have time to sit around and feel sorry for yourself. You got to get back up and go. You got to work the phones. Stephen Vogt's got to get the lineup card ready. Guys got to refocus. They got to forget about those other guys, and they got to come together, and they got to go. That's the way it is. It's business. It's sports. It's life. That's where the Cleveland Guardians are at right now. Chris Antonetti spoke with the media, I want to say about 3:30 this afternoon. So this was before we came on the air. And if you missed some of these comments we played earlier, we're going to play them for you now. Chris Antonetti of the Cleveland Guardians baseball franchise spoke today about the situation the team is in right now.
It is what it is. Again, both guys won't be available to us for the near term, and we need to figure out a way to overcome that. And, it's not too dissimilar at the moment for when players are injured and they're not available to us. We have to find the next group to step up and shoulder the load and find a way to win games. And that's really what we're focused on.
And that's what you got to be focused on. You got to put the blinders on. You got to take that tunnel vision. That's the approach you need to take. Here's more from Chris Antonetti.
We've been informed by Major League Baseball. They were very clear to let us know that they don't expect any other players or staff members to be impacted.
So that's good. They don't expect any other players or staff members. I hope that's it. I hope that's the only two, Ortiz and Clase. More from Chris Antonetti.
What I know is that the suspensions are in place through August 31st, and then we'll have to see where things are at that point. Obviously, for everyone, I think we'd prefer to have clarity sooner rather than later, but I recognize it's a complicated issue, and Major League Baseball has a number of steps they need to work through to complete that investigation.
And Chris, now, how do you How do you move forward? How do you look at the Major League Baseball trade deadline coming up?
It's a lot of information to process. I think what we know is that, two very good pitchers aren't going to be available to pitch for us, in the near term. And so we have to assess how that impacts our thinking on things.
Chris Antonetti from the Cleveland Guardian spoke with the media about 3:30 today. And those are some of the cuts that we were able to get for you here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Lot of moving pieces, lot of moving parts right there. Guardians, Rockies tonight, 6:40, game one of a 3-game series at Progressive Field. Slade Ciccone on the mound tonight for the Guardians. You need to sweep this team. Colorado stinks. As my dad used to tell me, my late father, years and years and years and years ago, that team stinks so bad I can smell them from here. and the Colorado Rockies, they are clothespin over your nose stinkworthy. They are 27-78. You need to sweep this team, and you need to sweep them, get them out of town, and get ready for the next one. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Phone line's open if you want to jump in, 330-821-1310. Text line also open at 330-924-7088. It's the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN. Also, don't forget, we are about 5 or 6 minutes away. Your chance to win best seat in town to watch the Carnation Grand Parade here in beautiful Alliance, Ohio. That and more coming up. Stay with us.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Mama, what does the chicken say? Dog. Cat. Giraffe.
Giraffe, really? Giraffe.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hey, Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew, so here we go. First day on the job. We've got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
All right, we've got about 4 minutes to go to the bottom of the hour. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. Boy, some of you on social media, my God, you really need to get a life. You really, really need to get a life. Look, this is a sports talk show. This is a fun show. This is a show of facts, information, interviews, stats, numbers, interviews, old-time stories, poll questions. Never turn this into a political forum. But J.D. Vance was in town today in Canton, and some of the comments people were making on Jesus. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what propels people to get on and just make such stupid, asinine comments. Whatever part of the political aisle you're on. This goes for both. This goes for the left, the right, the red, the blue. This goes for both. Just, you really have issues. Some of you really need to just take care of that. It's pathetic. It really is. Got a couple more comments in here on our poll question today. What do you think about legalized sports gambling? What about legalized sports betting? John says, hey, man, I'm cool with it. Dave says, what's the difference? It's been fixed either way. It's basically over for main sports, as you are starting to see. Well, I've said it for decades. Not everything. But games have been fixed. And I don't care who's fixing them. It's wrong.
Yeah, that guy's looking at it with his eyes open.
Right. There's a lot of people out there that have been so naive, so they don't want their childhood memories ruined. They don't want to believe it. I'm here to tell you, it's been going on for a long time. And now with this, when you can bet on a pitch, how many touchdowns somebody's going to throw, how many points, how many assists, are you kidding me? You don't think that can happen? Well, you're seeing it now. And you better open up your eyes a little bit wider, because there's a lot more coming. Tony says, Sam, with great freedom comes great responsibility. What adults choose to do with their money, as long as they're not harming anyone, should be their business. But sports nowadays, I wouldn't trust it. It's sad. It really is. All right. Hey, who wants to go and be a winner? Who wants to have the best seat in town for the Carnation Grand Parade? Be the first caller at 330-821-1310. Go ahead and call in right now. 330-821-1310. VIP parade seats for you and a friend at the Carnation Days Parade in Alliance. Call right now. Caller number 1, you win. 330-821-1310. You hear Phil in the background. It's time to go. Thanks to Ryan Rainsberg. Great job today, my friend. Thanks to all of the callers, emailers, texters, and commenters. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social media platforms. And get ready. We're going to come back here tomorrow and do it all over again, beginning at 3 p.m. Don't forget, go Browns, go Bucks, go Guards, go Cavs. Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
There's no point deceiving. I don't know